You want to start it off?
Hey, and welcome to another exciting episode of Terrorisk. Blah 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 blah. Chris Kim, Richie Montero. Let's roll, guys. How's it going?
Good. I'm doing
Okay.
good. I want to start by announcing that I upgraded my computer's RAM. So
What?
that
There's less
means
likely to crash or have the massive slowdowns you've had before.
it just means my processing
Your
process
random access memory, yeah.
has more access to random access memory. And I went from 16 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes, which is a pretty big swing. But you know what? I had an i9 processor, so I was like, fuck it. Why let weak RAM throttle my beautiful processor? And the reason why, I mean, look, I also have a T430 ThinkPad that I've been like dicking around and souping up with like modern parts. And it's because it's just my outlet for not having a car. Because souping up,
And you don't masturbate, so you need something to do with your hands. And what better thing than upgrading your tower?
well, aside, I mean, not
And
just
also,
my tower.
and it has a similar modular part element to
Well,
it.
the
Yeah.
ThinkPad is more fun, honestly, than upgrading a tower. But I will say this though, like, it's definitely a lot cheaper to upgrade your PC than it is to upgrade your car. So,
That's true.
and I've been learning a lot. I've honestly been learning quite a bit. I was always just like one like small $100 purchase away from souping my shit up. So now, as we're recording, and as Richie browses through and Google shit, it won't be freezing and taking like a million years, killing the vibe. So that's nice. And back to what was it? Retro. What's the word when you make like retro things more compatible?
Retrofitting?
Retrofitment. Yeah. So retrofitting new parts into like a old ass ThinkPad T430. That's fucking fun because it's like, those things would come stock with like an i5 processor and like 8 to 16 gigs. It's like, hey, yeah, you could throw in fucking, 16 gigs all the way and give it an i7 processor and give it another like 4 terabytes of storage, solid state. So it's just fun, it's cool because we have so much technological excess that
I just stopped paying attention to computer specs a long time ago. I stopped paying attention to consoles. I've talked about this before.
well,
My general alienation from.
dude, do you think anyone actually wants to give a shit about this? I've come to this conclusion. This is all purely out of necessity. Like the only reason why I give a shit about this computer shit again at this point, not when I'm just like youthfully curious. It's really because like I'm trying to like record, not even stream, but record, and it's already like causing hiccups and shit because I got so much shit running, and it's time. It's time I just like up the plateau. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I did. And that's what I'm gonna continue to do until like I get some really cracked out tower, which is gonna be fun. You know, who knows what I'll do with that kind of that kind of computing horsepower. But yeah, that's that on the technical front of Terrorisk developments. I'm probably going to do more quality of life shit for the boys, like get more beanbag chairs, a bigger TV maybe, bigger TV monitor.
Come to Brooklyn or help us set up a Brooklyn
Oh
studio.
nah, dude. I don't think it's gonna get any more comfortable in that fucking trap house than
No,
it is
it
here.
won't.
I mean, I'll do it for like once in a while for like
Or a mobile pad, just, yeah.
yeah
But no, I agree, but yeah.
yeah.
Or a new location.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think I could really hook this place up. Like I'm starting to realize again that I didn't tap into the space's potential. So I'm just gonna like, because there's all sorts of things that I learned how to do between now and last time I addressed my quote unquote hardware. And yeah, that should be a fun little journey. And also like learning different architectures for Linux distros. That's been kind of fun too. Feel like a real hacker, but that's not really the case. It's just I had some extra time in my hands without a car, so I was like, let me go back to learning about some shit. And you would think like, oh, it's been like a year or it's been like half a year since I touched this material. You would think I just forget everything and then I have to start back from square one, but you really don't. Like a lot of things do stick. Like once you learn how to install your a Linux distro into any machine, and you realize why this is actually better than fucking Windows and Mac. You remember, you re-realize, and then yeah, it's you have a lot of fun. You start learning and creating modules for yourself. And this is you don't even have to be a programmer to do this shit. You just got to learn how to run prompts. That's it. And then once you do that, then you're a true computer boy. At least by today's standards,
Yeah.
for fucking sure. But yeah,
It's been much commented upon the base level computer competence that millennials have that neither Zoomers nor
Oh yeah,
boomers
kids
and-
today are fucking retarded when it comes to technology because of smartphones.
A lot of them can't type. It's insane to me.
Smartphones.
Yeah, smartphones. Yeah.
Yo, a desktop makes you smarter. Smartphones make you dumber.
Yeah. Yeah, it's full. Yeah, that's 100% true. Richie, thoughts?
That's just true. Like,
No. All right. No, it's objectively true.
I mean, so yeah.
Also, we just had to deal with fiddly. Very cliche thing to say. Had to deal with fiddly technology that the Zoomers don't have to deal with their smartphones.
Same with cars.
Their
Though.
iMacs.
Cars are like kind of the same way. I mean, you got these like new like like hybrid BMWs and shit that cost like $50,000 or some shit out of the factory, and like, you know, like nowadays, like no one would know how to, you know, change their own oil. And it's not even like, you know, lack of trying or lack of like intelligence. It's just these systems are so bloated and complex now. Like trying to crack open an iPhone is like a way harder time than trying to crack open my PC tower, which is like 100 times more powerful, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the iPhone isn't designed to crack open. Your tower is, and the modular nature of PC building. But yeah.
But they're both doing the same job, which is computing, except one is just giving you a really shitty experience of it that you think is good. Just like how you think you're getting a good experience by driving one of these fucking 400 horsepower electric mobiles, but you know, you're not really getting a better experience. You just think you are.
Yeah, it might be a better experience overall for a larger share of the consumers.
Yeah. I mean, you're paying more for less, ultimately. You're paying more for like reasons to just load up stupid, cheap Chinese electronics into fucking vehicles and whatever. And, you know,
I don't know. I know vehicles are all very much financing. They have a lot of needless electronic systems.
You think phones are any different? First of all, any given smartphone, we only use about, on average, 5% of the actual capacity, like abilities of our devices. Same thing with cars. Like, how often do you think people really use 100% functionality of their vehicles? Never. So, like, yeah, it's the same fucking thing. It's just excess, technological excess. Whereas if you get like a super beat fucking Honda Civic, when you do put work into it, you're not going to have excess. Every bit of that is going to be exactly what you wanted, exactly what you desired, exactly what you planned for. It's same thing with a tower. When you get just a tower, it's just a case. But you get the right motherboard, you get the right processor, you get the right corresponding RAM, you get everything, you know, that works harmoniously with the motherboard. Same thing with the chassis in a car.
Remember with computers back in the 90s, the aughts, the numbers weren't this big.
What do you mean?
It's really wild how you have laptops with multiple terabytes of storage. This is a very bland statement.
You think, no, it's not bland statement. It makes perfect
Remember,
sense.
it's like it was a big deal going from like 16 to 32 to 64.
3,200 kilobits per second and all that shit.
Yeah, remember how small the numbers were previously?
Yeah, like
and now I don't pay attention to computers anymore. So every few years I check and the numbers have just doubled in size. And it's like, okay, I don't seem to see a big difference in the performance.
Yeah.
It isn't much commented
But
on.
Cars again, the same fucking thing. Like, you know, back in like the 80s, it would be unheard of for like, you know, a soccer mom to be driving around in a fucking SUV that could like rip it at 400 miles per hour with a turbocharged engine. But guess what? You know, like they have those just, you know, sold out right out of the dealership. Same thing. And that's just normal now. Just like it's normal to have like 5 gigabytes of storage at all times on your person. Back then, dude, like you were lucky to have an MP3 player with like a couple gigs.
Yeah. I remember being like having 10 gigabytes on my computer in, I don't know, 2000 or 2011 or 12, and it felt like a lot.
At some point, people might as well just have like ports on them so they could store their own data in their bodies. Like, yeah, I'm sure my body's capable. Like, you know,
why would I care to do that when I'm always carrying my smartphone?
I don't know. I mean, because you could lose your smartphone, you could lose everything else. You can't lose your body.
I see no reason to do an invasive technology on my body when I can just have it on my phone.
What if it's not as invasive as you think? What if it's like a tattoo? just a layer of what seems like paint, but is actually like a layer of nano machines holding data and passing it along each other.
I don't know why people would use that.
A lot of people would use it.
I guess what you can put your birth certificate or social security number or something like
Yeah.
that. If it directly, if it was improving my memory as my memory is now.
No, that's not why people would do it. People would do it just for convenience sake. That's why they would sacrifice. That's why they would take these insane steps towards convenience while giving up, their autonomy and their freedom and their personal, well, just their personal privacy.
That's already been done with social media.
Exactly, because it's convenient. It's much more convenient to just sit there and stare at my phone for 5 minutes than have to engage in a conversation.
Yeah. I don't know. I've gone over this before. I feel like the phone itself is I don't know how many people would take it to the next level.
What do you mean?
Because a phone is so convenient and comfortable.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's.
I see no reason to have an implanted phone, for instance.
I'm not talking about just an implanted phone, but something's got to change. This whole idea of staring at a 2x6 screen or 3x7 screen or whatever, just to view everything in reality. That's gonna get old for us. I think we're gonna grow out of that real soon.
Mm. Ow. I know I'm just pausing, spending a lot of time killing dead air. I would have to. I don't see the end of it.
What?
I'll be wrong.
The end of what?
The convenience of just staring at your phone.
Well, I'm not talking about the end of anything. I'm just saying, I'm sure someone's gonna think to take quote unquote things to the next level.
Well, here's a comparison. I don't have LASIK eye surgery. A bunch of people do. I don't think I would ever get it. How many people still wear glasses even though LASIK is available?
No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. Those are all just extensions of using your standard physical senses to perceive media or ideas or concepts, right? To make it more cerebral, would imagine it doesn't matter the medium, whether it's a piece of paper that magically refreshes itself with different text, or whether it's a smartphone that's showing you text, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. But I think the next level of perception is going to be quantum based, as in we're going to have computers or devices that are so powerful that you could ask your phone, hey, what happens? What's probably going to happen if I buy a blueberry muffin today instead of a raspberry muffin today for breakfast? And then it could accurately tell you, well, if you do this, you're probably going to lose your fucking job and your girlfriend's going to dump you. If you get the raspberry, which I know you don't eat very often, it's not your thing of choice, but if you don't get the raspberry, if you get the raspberry, your day will turn out much better. Trust me on this, and it'll be 100% accurate, just because of this, just because of the access of or I should say the ability of quantum computing, literally outpaces our linear sense of reality. They're able to process multiple realities.
There's a story I've read akin to this about a magic earring that you put it in your ear and it gives you the ultimate life advice.
I'm just saying that's just one use case, right? There could be another use case where I could be I want to make the best decisions for my child that I'm raising. Give me the different possibilities if I make this choice for them in their early formative years. And it'll tell you accurately based upon your economic background, based upon your ethnicity, your height, your health background, everything. And it'll get it perfectly, just because the technology will be so far ahead of our own consciousness. It's going to be like how we could only perceive consciousness from the perspective of our own bodies, of our own isolated sense. Whereas it's different for you to be able to simultaneously care about the Carmen that made a different choice and is walking a parallel path from you. Can you care about that Carmen and identify with him as much as you identify with yourself? That's going to be the new step, I think. I know it sounds hokey, and I know it's kind of fucking, whatever, but I really do think that this is where we're headed, because everything else is just going to be recursive, right?
It's like You look at now compared to 30 years ago, things look fairly similar except for the addition of smartphones being omnipresent.
I mean, even the most like potent forms of technology, what they were pretty much doing the same thing, except in a much lighter, preliminary way. For example, gaming. Gaming gives us our avenues as if like, what would it be like if I actually was a space marine? What would it be like if I actually was a mercenary in a free for all battle? What would it be like if I actually had friends who liked me? You know, like that's what the gaming scene kind of offered, which is like the same thing. It's offering you a glimpse into your parallel self. And you know, same thing with social media. Social media is offering you a glimpse, so to speak, of like staring at other lives and you projecting yourself onto them and vice versa. It's like a mutually parasocial relationship, but it's like the same kind of thing. And we're pretty much, that's just like foreplay into what we really want to get to, which is like actually being in communicate or in observance of our parallel selves as they're living alongside of us, not just like divorced or detached from us, you know? And technology is only going to support that, you know, because like every day, like all these games are just becoming more reflections of us. Like create your, it's not about you play as this character, someone who's from the, it's like create your avatar, go on a journey as yourself. The worst
I
person
don't know.
ever.
People are LARPing in their political ideologies or how
See,
they present
that too. That's
themselves
just another
in
fucking.
social media in real life.
They're
I
basically
meet
playing the game.
people.
It's like, oh, like, what would I imagine if I lived in a life where it was just everything was politically idealized just for me and people who agree with me? That's basically what they're engaging with.
There's a line, I don't know if it was Paul Schrader or Martin Scorsese was talking about Taxi Driver, probably Paul Schrader. And he said every third guy he meets on the streets of New York City is Travis Bickle.
And I don't mean to like depreciate this kind of thing. It's just like it's important. I mean, what's the thing that all these things have in common? From the political LARPing to the fucking gaming to the fucking social media projection, all of this. Like what's the real thing that drives it? And I think the universal factor that makes all of them kind of that makes them avenues for us to engage with quantum selfing. I think it's all the state of play. I think when you're in enough abundance to engage in a state of play, my money's fine. I got enough sleep. I have enough to eat. I'm safe. I'm in a safe environment. Now what do? Well, I'm gonna play a bit. I'm gonna play in my mind. I'm gonna play in the books I read. I'm gonna play some video games. I'm gonna play a board game with my friends. I'm gonna play in my imagination as I write a play, an actual playwright. I'm gonna play out scenarios as I write a book or a story. It's engaging. It's all about the state of play, which is visceral to human expression and exploration.
I suppose we just have ever more free time.
Well, that means the more free time we get, the more play we get to have. The more play we get to have.
People in the very recent past, like pre-industrial era, like 1850s, worked so much more than we work.
Sure.
We do have far more free time, even though it's very frustrating when we work bullshit jobs or get exhausted by them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm like halfway, 1 foot in the new way and 1 foot in the old way, which is why despite me, like, you know, working from home, not working a laborer's job, I'm still putting myself through a lot of like physical routine exercise, you know, kind of pushing myself. And I kind of like that because it shows you that, you know, it doesn't just like, it's really not about mastering your external environment, mastering your money, mastering your job, mastering your social network. It's mastering yourself. What if you did have all that? What if you were able to work from home and you did get all the money you could have? Guess what? That doesn't guarantee that you're still not going to fuck up your life.
All right.
Which is all about self-mastery. So if we ever did reach an age of universal basic income, I think you're gonna have a huge population of people that literally just die out because of their own willful ineptitude.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're already seeing that. I think in many ways our current society is a universal basic income society.
Yeah.
At least we have so much surplus that it can very easily be that if someone
And the
chooses.
divide's only going to get worse because think about it for a guy like me. If we get a universal basic income future, first of all, that's more people that's just going to be like fucking chutted out idiot like gooners and fucking coomers and like shut-ins like unmastered.
We saw it all during 2020.
So what that means for me is A, I have to work less hard to survive, and B, I get less competition. It's over.
You have a natural You have a natural grind set
It's not
influencer
grind set.
quality. But it's not a grind set. It's the opposite. You can chill out in a lot of ways.
Dude, it's loving life.
Yeah.
If you love life, then what are you
The
gonna do with
opposite
it?
of it, yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do if you love life? You want to live it, and
Yeah.
you know if you love life, that's very fleeting. You only have a certain amount of time in your whole 80 years just to fucking do like a fraction of the things you would like to do. And you know, I realize like the only thing stopping you from doing what you want to do is obsessing over what you want to do and what you didn't get to do. The more calories you burn thinking about that, the less calories you have to actually engage with it. And I think the biggest difference is everyone's conditioned to survive, but they're not conditioned to thrive. You know, like I was talking with like one of the dojo students. He was like, we were talking about making ourselves better, becoming better versions of ourselves. And he was like, yeah, I'm in therapy and all that. And, you know, he kind of like just was like rolled over the statement. And I was like, well, you know what? Think of it like a car. There's two reasons why you bring a car to a mechanic. One is to fix something that's broken, right? Mm-hmm. Two is to mod it, is to make it better, is to improve the performance from baseline. So the trouble happens when you think they're one and the same. They're not. Like a lot of people think that, oh, you know, it's like this never-ending journey of making myself fine, of finally reaching that baseline, and then that's it. Then I don't have to work anymore. No, I mean, is that really is that really what you think life is about? Just being fine? No, it's about thriving. So you can't just burn calories on surviving. I mean, don't get me wrong. If your actual life situation is so fucked where you're having trouble surviving, then yeah, burn those calories. But when you're actually not that destitute as you think you are or feel you are, to the point where you victimize yourself for no good reason, like you got to focus more on thriving. They're two different mindsets. Because what's the biggest difference? When you're in survival mode, you're more risk averse. When you're more in thriving mode, you're more likely to take chances that are probably more likely to pan out. And here's the more fucked up part. You're able to take more risks the younger you are. The older you get, the worse and worse and worse you're going to pay for taking like bad risks.
Much like falling when you're younger, you recover quicker.
Exactly. So that's why when I see guys in their 20s like fucking, you know,
being risk averse. A lot of guys in their 20s are I did for much of my 20s, just staying inside or whatever. And it's like, no, that's the time to be outside.
You're gonna regret it.
Yeah, I certainly do. Though I've made up for it in a lot of ways, but
yeah,
there's a lot to be said for just jumping on that and taking wild risks. Also, like your parents are younger. Frankly, it's more possible for them not even to bail you out, but to offer advice.
The reason why it's better to do stupid shit when you're younger, it's because it's a journey. It's because when you do stupid shit when you're younger, you're wanting more, and you gain a lot of power of youth, and then you're starting to like acquire more shit. You're fucking a lot of women, you know, because you had a head start, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're in your 30s, you burned a lot of relationships, you fucked a lot of, you know, women, you had a lot of relationships, you had a lot of good experiences, you had a lot of bad experiences, you had a lot of it. And either or, and you realize no matter what, it was still amounting to the same shit at the end of the day. So that's when you start to realize it's like, oh shit, I think I've been fucking up. And that's the part where you get to that like your bottomless pit where it's like your void. The problem is when you start that shit at like 30 or in your mid 30s and then you go hog wild and then you face that void in your 50s, it's not fucking cute. It's not cool. No one's gonna think that's good, you know. But whereas if you start in your like 20s or late teens, then by the time you face that void, you hit your 30s, you're like, I got that out of my system. Thank fucking God, you know.
Yeah, it's more romantic too when you're younger. You're just better looking during the entirety of it. You have more energy.
Yep. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, speaking of bygone eras, those two 80s movies you put me on to, they were pretty good.
Yeah, tell me your thoughts on them. We're talking about Radioactive Dreams and Streets of Fire.
Radioactive Dreams. I liked Radioactive Dreams. That was
very low budget, but charming. They put a lot of heart in. There's a lot of heart in it.
It was more like it was more noir for sure. And okay, so if I had to compare those two movies, first of all, I would say creatively Radioactive Dreams was better, but I think Streets of Fire was just a better movie.
Yeah,
it's
also a professionally made movie. It actually looks like a real movie. It's the way it's lit, the way it's shot, the video quality, the way things are framed,
and the acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Radioactive Dreams was more of an earnest,
You could tell it is an amateur film or a semi-amateur film.
but it was definitely more of an earnest run of shit. And you know what? I will say this about Radioactive Dreams: it had better music.
Hmm.
I think so. Because Radioactive Dreams was more focused on like
The
scene.
music from like here. It's far more new wave as opposed to this very cheesy Meatloaf arena rock of Streets of Fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the whole like street scenes and the culture, subcultural scenes was like a big thing in Radioactive Dreams. So the idea was these kids.
I'll be right back. Water.
You picked the worst fucking time. No, you can't. You can't hear shit. You can't fucking hear anything, man. Come on. I had water too. I could have given you some of my water. What? Well, now I don't want to talk about these movies because you just like literally bailed on the most important part in the middle of recording, no less. Like, come on, bro. How could you do this to me? How could you leave me? How could you leave me hanging like that, dude?
All right, Mo, you're no longer hanging. Continue.
Yeah, so anyway, Radioactive Dreams was really important about the subcultural scenes where they talk about the new age punks and then you got the hippies or the new wave hippies and all that shit. And basically every time they tour, so the idea was the world has been in a whole fallout, post-apocalyptic state since the Cold War or the end of the Cold War. And you basically get to see how the 80s developed, not during like the time that we knew the 80s developed, but how the 80s came about in a post-apocalyptic setting. So you still had like, you know,
The premise
80s
of it
scenes.
is two kids who were raised in a fallout shelter on a diet of noir, of like hard-boiled detective Raymond Chandler novels and film noir, merge into a new wave post-apocalyptic Mad Max world where everyone is Cyndi Lauper.
I mean, there was because you can't really say that. I mean, I liked the new wave punks because like towards the end you got each character represented their respective scene. So every time you like each of these characters took the two boys because the two boys were still on their 50s shit, you know, their 50s detective dime store novel type.
It's
shit.
like 30s through 40s, but yeah. Or like late, yeah, into early 50s, but yeah, sorry.
And yeah, so they were kind of they were a fish out of water in a sense where everyone was in a
Or whatever they're called.
Everyone is in
A
everyone was in
Pollyanna figure, but go on.
everyone was in the post-apocalypse, but these two boys who are basically 50s coded had to basically discover the 80s. So yeah, that's my take on the movie. I just saw it too, so it's like really fresh, and it was definitely more memorable to me than Streets of Fire. I mean, Streets of Fire was undoubtedly a better movie, better paced, but
Well, it has a lot of flaws, a lot of terrible acting in it, flat lines. It's
both
too
had
long.
terrible acting. What are you talking?
Yeah,
about?
no,
You
but
can't-
it also goes on way too long. Though it is a great performance by Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. William
Like
Dafoe.
he stands like the protagonist is so fucking boring.
Yo, Richie, can you Google Willem Dafoe in Streets of Fire?
But Willem Dafoe is so charming.
Yeah, the way he looked.
It should be a much better movie than it is, but it has some very striking visuals. Did you like the cars in Streets of Fire?
They were
Chris?
pretty cool, like the Blackbird. That was nice. He almost doesn't look like himself.
Well, I mean, this is him at like 25 or something. He's incredibly young here.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you're so used to seeing him as an old man.
Yeah. It was an alright movie.
Yeah, it's heavily flawed. Some people really like the soundtrack, others hate it.
But what I did notice about both of these movies and you recommended both of them, so you must like both of them. So I
Yeah.
figured you really like adventure stories. You like stories of a plucky crew or group.
I don't know, yeah, I'm
Or
a
even
man.
if you're-
You know, me is part of being Peter Panish, but I like that kind of male adventure. Boys own adventure.
Yeah, boys adventure. All right, that's good to know. I liked the way Streets of Fire ended, where he fucks the girl and then ends up going off with his new female partner.
His lesbian partner, yeah.
She kind of reminded me of V from Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. There's a bunch of qualities that feel very clever about it, but it really falls short in a lot of ways. Even though I enjoy the movie,
Yeah.
part of my complaint is how. Part of the appeal is because of how it falls short. I can imagine a better version of it.
Yo, Richie, can you YouTube a song? Guilty Conscience, Radioactive Dreams. Guilty Pleasure, sorry, not Conscience, Guilty Pleasure.
I'm assuming with Radioactive Dreams, they were just casting some local new wave bands wherever the film was shot.
Yeah, but it was a cool exploration into each scene because with each area that they visited was like a whole different kind of scene with different music, and you just see these like 50s coded boys or 40s coded boys or whatever. No, you gotta see the scene from the movie. Wait, just press back on YouTube. Scroll down. Radioactive Dreams. I guess that's it.
You have to play it.
3:15. No, that was
That
it.
one right there.
Is the sound all fucked up?
Do you remember what point in the movie it happens?
Yeah, the sound is just not coming out loud in this video.
Yeah, maybe have to play the full movie and find that portion of where it happens.
It's all good. But yeah, I think that was probably my favorite part of it.
Song?
Yeah. Guilty pleasures. Fuck it. Yeah, that was probably the best scene in the fucking thing. So in the middle of like singing the song, you're like going through like this chase scene.
Yes, you know what to do. I think we should shut up.
So inviting. I'm on the edge of heat distress.
Also, watching both of these movies kind of pointed out how like. Alright, so I'm gonna go on a rant about this. In the 80s, you had people really learning that anybody could fucking make a hit. Anybody could make a song. It doesn't take like a whole band full of like classically trained musicians. By the time they had the 80s, you had like dudes using Japanese made fucking instruments and shit and just stupid like poppy dance beats. And that worked. They were just making music. So I think in the 80s was like probably peak.
Why don't you go on in and take
True
it
to
easy?
the youth of the 80s, like the
Well, I
kind of
think
places they're going
something
to, the clubs, the bars,
More
The
comfortable.
dancing shit.
I've heard it's more mild in a bunch of ways restrained or the other shit of Christ.
So yeah, that was that scene. Guilty pleasures. So yeah, the Radioactive Dreams had better music than Streets of Fire for sure.
Thinking about the aesthetic of in summer wearing a wife beater, baggy dress pants, and a fedora out.
Say what now?
Wearing a singlet, a wife beater, an A shirt, a dress pants, like high waisted dress pants with suspenders and a fedora as just a going out clothing on summer. As an aesthetic.
Damn. I'm thinking about how like good fashion sense as a guy, you don't doesn't really require you to be fit, whereas good fashion for a woman kind of requires you to
Yeah,
be
it
fit.
does.
It's pretty harsh. But like I will say this as a guy who is like physically active. I care a lot. Like I've been caring way less, like progressively less about clothes. I'm just like, I don't fucking care, man. I used to care more. I used to care a lot more. And even when I did used to care more, I didn't care nearly half as much compared to like a lot of people in my life. Some of my exes, for example.
I care a lot about clothes, but it's because it really fascinates and interests me.
How so? Why?
For a long time in my life, it's just been something I've been very fixated on, having a very put together dress and personal style. It's something I'm emphasizing to the world in the way I dress.
My dream when it comes to clothes is the ability to have like one outfit that never rips, never degrades, never gets dirty, and you can just wear it forever if you want. You don't have
Like
to.
an animated character always wearing the same clothes.
No, animes didn't really do the only animes that really engaged with that were the ones that kind of
anime, not just anime, like Western animation as well.
No, I mean Japanese had good reason because they were all about fucking high school kids, and those high school kids wore uniforms. Whereas the Western cartoon characters didn't fucking have an excuse, okay? No, this gets addressed all the time because, like, yeah, like that's.
Well, it's easier for the animation for maintaining continuity.
Well,
but
no
yeah.
shit, because in real life, those kids, they all wear uniforms too. Like the same style sailor uniform, whereas in the West, again, they didn't fucking have that excuse. But don't get me wrong, the animation, technically, just frame by frame is better, I think, in terms of, like, smoothness. Whereas the Japanese were able to tell a story with using way less frames, the Westerners used a lot more frames to kind of give you more detailed slop, I guess. I mean, it's no fucking question. You compare any like really old Walt Disney animation to like some of the sleekest semi-modern Japanese like anime. It's no question.
Well, everything modern anime has a bunch of digital assistants.
No, I mean before that. Like
in the 80s?
In the golden age, golden era of anime, their animation, frame by frame, compared to like a 1940s like Fantasia for not. I guess I don't.
Yeah.
Like if you really watch that shit, it's no comparison. You know, like it's. And Walt Disney was on some shit. He was onto some crazy cutting edge shit that not even the Japanese animation masters could have held a candle to. In fact, Miyazaki, I don't think would be who he is without Walt Disney.
No, I mean they're heavily influenced by Disney. I know, anime as a whole.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like technically the West had animation like frame by frame, how it's presented to you.
Yeah, like Fleischer Brothers or Fleischer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Original Disney. A lot of the highest quality animes coming out of the late 80s, early 90s when the Japanese bubble meant they were just throwing money at stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever you see some highly animated, highly detailed late 80s, early 90s OVA, it's because of the financial circumstance at the time in Japan enabled it.
Little known fact, a little after towards the late 80s, towards the 90s, you could call that the golden age of hentai. That's when hentai was really starting to. That's when like the animators were starting to like dry up a little on the money. So they figured out that they could really pad out their accounts if they just engage in like some, moonlighting pen work, But eventually they became so prestigious themselves in their own right. I mean, there's always been a huge Japanese market for like sexual art. Why not? It's their outlet for it. If they can't express that shit in their day-to-day life, why not engage with it in like
I know, and other rules around Japanese pornography and all that.
what?
And I was saying is the hentai in part downstream from the other restrictions of pornography in Japan, though obviously why they just blur the genitalia. There's a large pornography market in Japan, yes.
I mean, specifically hentai, not Japanese porn though. But you're right. I mean, if you do kind of nerf the real IRL porn, then yeah, the manga is gonna kind of have an edge, right? Like the hentai manga. Which is probably healthier, honestly, to look at drawings of sexualized, hypersexualized shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never see the appeal, but I guess it was just within my nature.
I mean,
Um,
all right, so I've
But I know it's very prominent.
dude. I've literally I've read some hentai before, right?
Mhm.
Usually, sometimes most of the time in like very public settings, because you got to understand something about these manga scenes. Like they don't have any shame. Like they'll openly, the true fans of manga will openly talk about the hentai series that they engage in, and then I'll be like, why? Like, have you no shame? And they'll be like, no, seriously, check it out. So I check it out. Yes, there's smut. Yes, a lot of it is smut. Sometimes most of it is smut. However, a lot of times there is some really spicy and engaging dialogue happening, or some crazy fucking narrative. Like some dude who's like in love with his like stepsister, which is run of the mill porn shit. Not stepsister, adopted sister. So, which is run of the mill porn shit. However, here's the twist. The adopted sister is dying of cancer, of a disease that she's been afflicted
with.
a bone disease, actually, not even cancer, some bone marrow disease. Some
Oh,
rare
bone
disease.
marrow cancer is like untreatable, which is probably the reason why.
So yeah, so that's the twist. Whereas, like usually porn would just stop at the "you're my adopted
Having
sister."
sex with the sister, yes.
But they had to go the extra mile and go, and on top of that, you're a healthy young man in high school, and you have like you even have like girls who are interested in you that are normal. That would be a normal relationship. So you're juggling that, and it's drama. It's straight up fucking like high school drama.
Yeah,
shit.
as opposed to pure masturbatory material, it's erotica.
Yeah, so you're so you're not just going through horniness, you're also going through a full gambit of emotions. You're going through the comedy, the thrill, because there's like funny, awkward moments. It's like, oh no, the teacher's gonna walk in, and the teacher has secretly had a crush on this guy too.
Yeah.
You know?
I watched Showgirls for the first time recently.
Yeah. What about it?
A fascinating movie, a failed rated X release. A lot of girls love the movie. Are you familiar with it at all?
No.
It is a woman that was on, I think, Boy Meets World, the Disney starlet.
Topanga.
No, someone else, someone like that. Elizabeth Barkley. Goes to Las Vegas to become an exotic dancer, a high-end stripper in these glamorous Vegas shows. It exists in this fantasy world where there's high-paid showgirls in Las Vegas.
Just like real life.
Yeah. There's a ton of nudity. There's a lot of folk. It's like a gay guy's idea of what a straight fantasy is, or what straight people are like. A lot of focus on the individual clothes that the women are wearing. Every single line of dialogue sounds incredibly contrived and fake and utterly bizarre. Bizarre lines left and right, where it's like written by aliens.
All this, well, the two main subcultures that I engaged with as a teen, as a youth growing up, I saw copious amounts of IRL nudity, but it's not the kind of IRL nudity that would make you like lust after it. It's the kind where it's like, yeah, that's what a real naked person looks like. It's like, because with the punk scene, it's just sloppy and whatever.
Right,
And
people
it's like,
stripping down, people.
yeah, or in the rave scene, it's like the same thing. It's like they did too many drugs and they're going topless. And I mean, it's not even sexy at that point. It's like staring at a little kid trapped in a grown person's body. You're like, this is disturbing. You're like,
How long were you in the rave scene?
probably for like when I first became like an adult, when I was like really old enough to start like going to clubs and drinking and shit.
So what, 21?
Not like 18,
18?
19.
Okay. And how long were you involved in it?
Still kind of am, really.
Still kind of am,
I'll
but when
still-
were you heavily involved?
The peak was like between like 2010 to 2014. Maybe
So-
2015.
So like a 4 or 5 year stretch.
But I would
From,
also
like-
I would have spurts though. Like when I started dating Lauren, I introduced her to raving and we started
Right.
raving again. And I was always DJing still here and there, and I'm still trying to like work on this fucking, but the music I'm trying to make now is not really club focused, but it can be. You never know.
Within that period of time, like, what were,
You want to hear about the sex? Is that it?
I want to hear about the highs and the lows of it. What are the things that stood out? What is your reflection on them when you
Well, the
look back?
highs were literally the highs, the drug highs. You got ecstasy, you got acid, you got mushrooms. And if you had access to those three things, you didn't really need anything else except from occasionally alcohol and weed. But then if
But
you
basically, so when you go to a rave or any of those things, you drop one of these drugs at the start of it, and then basically you're good for substance use for the night.
no, not the start of it. You got to time it right because everyone's different, first of all. And second of all, you never really know what you're going to get. And third of all, your tolerance builds, you know? So
Do
like,
you rotate it, like with crop rotation? How does that go down? What's your planning of a night?
everyone's different, but me personally, I never got hung up over one thing, which I never understood why people did. Like some people just did ecstasy every single weekend, and I'm like, you cannot do that. Other people did acid every single day, and I'm like, you definitely cannot do that. You know, same thing with shrooms. I'm like, I was the kind. It's like one weekend, it's like, yo, what do you want to do? It's like, I got some rolls and we could get some coke. It's like, all right, let's do it. Next weekend, it'll be like, what do you got? It's like, I got some shrooms and I got Xanax. Like, I'm good on the Xanax. Give me the shrooms. Next weekend, it would be like, what do you got? It's like, oh, we got some LSD and we got some Percocet. Fuck the perks. Give me the LSD. You know, so it's like there was so many different things. Yes, it was very easy to fall into one thing, but for me, I just never had that inclination. So those
You're
are the
always
highs.
averse to benzos and opioids.
Any prescription pills or any kind of like
Yeah.
overly synthetic substance, you know?
I don't like opioids. I don't like benzos.
Yeah, I like psychedelics. You like the Terrence McKenna type shit, you know, the fucking I'm a psychonaut.
Yeah.
I explore metaphysics and we all know that gay shit. Like, yeah.
I mean, I love alcohol probably too much.
Well, alcohol for me is cultural. That's
Yeah.
nothing to do with self-exploration. That's all to do with how I engage with other people.
Yeah.
When I drink, I see alcohol as a tool, less so an avenue for self-exploration and exploration of my surroundings. Alcohol is more so a tool that helps me engage with people in more dimensions. You know, because if I'm like engaging with someone stone cold sober, usually there's some like job that's going to drastically reduce the dimensions at which I can get engaged this person. But if there's alcohol involved, oh man, so many doors open up. The Japanese actually break this down to a science. Did you know that in a typical Japanese social setting where there's drinks involved, like let's say you're drinking after work with your coworkers, in Japan, if you're drinking like just one drink with them, you just talk about surface level shit. And it's customary where if you leave after that one drink, that's it. You leave it there. However, if you stay after that one drink for the next one, then that's when they allow themselves and each other to ask about personal shit and talk about personal shit. There's like an unspoken rule of etiquette there when it comes to drinking.
This is very East Asian. East Asians need elaborate scripts for engaging in anything, it seems like.
And yet, guess what? They're
And
still
yeah, it works,
they're still one
yeah.
of the most functional, homogenous societies ever.
Yeah, no, there's a huge advantage to it. It's very, one of the reasons why it's appealing to autists.
Dude, what you described was not because of just a want. It was necessity.
Yeah.
When you live in a country full of people who look like you need some rules that we might depict as weird. You know?
Things that come intuitively to us do not come intuitively to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. That's an adaptation.
Because
of
when
that kind
you
of
live in a
society.
country where everyone looks like you, two things happen. One, you very easily identify with the person next to you, but two, it's a lot easier to dehumanize the person next to you. It's like imagine a god seeing another god and a cockroach seeing another cockroach, you know?
You're saying that Asians all looking the same lends them creates the conformity.
Not just
of it.
Asians.
People in general, okay. Whereas the diversity of America,
I'm saying it's a factor.
cuts against. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, don't you hear those stories about how in Japan you could let your 3-year-old daughter walk
Yeah.
outside and nothing's gonna happen to her?
I like the idea, yeah, that it's because everyone looks the same, so they're chiller with it. Ooh. I feel like them being Asians also contributes to it, but yes.
But at the same time, you'll see worse antisocial traits pop up like bullying, usury, scamming, all sorts of like really fucked up.
I guess the
underhanded
most
shit.
significant things would be Japan's wars in East Asia. Japan's military behavior in Korea, in China during the interwar.
The whole looking like each other is one factor. The next factor is the language. So if you all look like each other and you all speak the same language, again, that's going to do twice as many funny things to you. Yeah, in America, it's not like that, so. What can you do? So why did you ask about the rape stuff?
I was just curious about that moment in your life.
So you asked about the lows. The lows, I think, was how sketchy it really was. Because you had like...
Here's the thing is that I've been to raves, but I was never that into it. It's just not really my thing. I'm happy to see it occasionally as a tourist, but it's just not
If
my
I was
thing.
a predator and I really wanted like an abundance of victims to like abuse and exploit...
I mean, you have a bunch of drugged out naked women in this hot environment. So tell me about that.
It's exactly how you describe. So imagine being like some kind of like sexual deviant or predator. Obviously, that's where you're gonna go. And sometimes it's not even bad. I mean, well, when I say not bad, I mean sometimes it's a lot more. It's not that ominous. Like, oh, I just want to roll myself in a carpet and get stepped on by a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. You're like, all right. But other times it's legit bad. And sometimes when they're in a position of influence, like they're a big club promoter or they're a DJ or something, and there's some kind of like handsome light-skinned dude with a lot of jewelry and a fast car. Like he looks like The Weeknd or whatever.
The Weeknd is very much a sexual predator phenotype.
Oh yeah. Just any guy who looks like that.
It's just a sexual predator.
He's gonna try to fuck your girlfriend, yo. If you leave a man like that in the same room as your attractive girlfriend, he's gonna try to fuck them. I guess this is one thing you got to be okay with, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like I just don't think I'm desperate. Like I realized as an older man in my 30s, like I'm not desperate enough for pussy where I would be with a hot woman who I feel would compromise me in such a way emotionally.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
But it was different when you were younger in your 20s.
Hell yeah, it was different. Like way different. Wasn't it for you?
Yeah. I don't have the same social scenes, but there's some similar dynamics at play in things I've interacted with or observed.
I mean, that's not to say I'd be down with getting with like an ugly woman or anything like that either, or an unattractive one. It's just I'd rather be alone. Fuck it. I'd literally rather be alone, and and take care of me and mine, and that's it. Because I realize good things don't happen to me by being with the hottest girlfriend. Good things happen to me by just being okay with myself. Good things happen to me when I'm not trying to do damage and fight other people. Good things happen when I'm not retaliating.
When were you last in a relationship?
A serious one?
Yeah.
I know,
Lauren. Yeah.
yeah.
What was that? 2 years ago? 3?
3, 4 almost.
Wow. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I know I moved here and you two were together, and then you broke up relatively shortly after.
Mm-hmm. Nah, dude, it's been a good. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say it was good because we broke up, but it was good because I got to spend time alone. And
Yeah.
I think that. Really,
And you said you had previously said that you had jumped from relationship to relationship.
yeah, and also I never got an opportunity to live alone as an adult. Whether it was with roommates or a girl or with my family members. Like living truly alone really helps put a lot of things into. Really lets you figure out who you really are, honestly. Because there's no one else to distract you. There's no one else to hide behind. There's no one else who's gonna, like distract you with like a fight or anything or an argument. Like it's just you.
Yeah, I've lived with other people for so long now.
Dude, living alone rocks. Some people never get the chance to. Some people, and it's crazy to me to think that like some people literally live their whole lives without ever getting to like spend time alone by themselves.
I've spent a lot of time alone though in my life.
Yeah, but not like being able to like live alone.
Yeah.
Like when you live alone, there's no one else to fuck your shit up. It's only you. There's no one else to improve your shit. Only you. So when things do improve in your living space, you feel a lot more self-efficacy at play. You're like,
feel self-actualized. You see
Yeah.
your own agency at play.
Yeah. Doubly so was like when you have plants or pets that are healthy and happy. It's even more of
Something that's relying on you.
like a validating factor too. It's like, see, you could sustain life even. Feels like a video game, honestly. And it's kind of sad to know that like there's so many girls that aren't even like trying to. Some of them feel like they could never. You know, some of them feel like they could never live this life where they're working for themselves and standing on their own 2 feet, living by their own mistakes and the consequences and all that shit. Guys too. It's not just girls. It's also guys.
And a lot of people throughout history have never had that much private space or time. Others had a lot of it. Or a banal statement, but
Well, it was always a choice. You didn't have to be around other people.
yeah, that's true. There's always some hermitage or retreat from society or from the community.
Indeed. Musashi found it.
No.
I would say that's what changed me the most in the past few years. It was that alone, truly living alone. I got to go crazy. I got to find myself again. I got to find peace, and I got to like consider
Like
what I
I said,
want.
it's like when you have total control over your own domain, and you have all of this space, what do you do with it or don't do with it, or how you manage it? I met so many people that live by themselves in their house or their room is just in a trash pit. You keep it clean.
Me? No, I don't.
Well, things are lying around, but you don't have rotting trash, which always strikes me when I see it in people's places.
Oh, really?
Although really that's like below the baseline, right? Like the baseline is at least you do that. And if everything is messy with books strewn about, that's one thing. But
Yeah, it's my organized mess, I guess.
I mean, I don't have that. I have a tremendous mess within my room, but it's dusty, but I don't have rotting or decaying things.
Yeah, I might move out of. I might think about moving out of state at some point, but
Where would you go?
I don't know yet. But then again, I still have like. This is my home. First of all, like I was born here. I'll probably die here.
And also in Staten Island, which I know you love having the space or whatever when you had a car, but I don't know, it takes you a while to get places.
No, it doesn't. I don't even have a car, and I make it to sword classes earlier than everyone else. The thing is, like, I know how to get around the city really well. I didn't realize that. Like when I kept trying to tell you guys like how to like get home like at a really quick way without having to spend money on an Uber, I didn't realize because I know how to get around.
You
this
grew up
fucking
here,
city.
so you're used to
like
it.
I really do know. Like I could just like if something doesn't work without even thinking, I'm just like, oh, there's an alternate route. I could just take that and do this and that. Like I realize that it's like it's different and the city I'm sure the city feels a lot smaller to me than people who haven't lived here for that long. To me it doesn't
Yeah.
feel that big at all, even to like certain parts of Long Island. I feel like it's just
How to maneuver, how to manage it, yeah.
yeah. And also like your perception of time changes when you do so many like commutes, you know.
It's true.
And I did a lot of interborough commuting in my life, man. Too much interborough commuting. To the point where it's like, again, the city just feels really small to me.
Fair. So it's not that big of a distance for you.
No. I mean, this is why, like, I think the reason why, like, first of all, like, everyone who's, like, living out in Brooklyn or Queens right now, like, in the next 10 or 15 years, they're either going to just give up and move out of the city or they're going to end up moving to Staten Island. Because it's the smartest fucking choice. Whether you're able to see that or not, like, depending on how long you've lived here, but it's sooner or later you do see that eventually. There's no better choice because you're gonna do the same. Yeah, it's like exciting, I guess, but it's like what exactly is exciting? Like what exactly like do you think good things happen in the streets after 12 a.m.? You might think it's fun, yeah, maybe even work the nightlife, fun, yeah, but if you really look such people in the eyes, man, it robs you of something. And I've done it. I haven't lived in like Williamsburg. Arguably, I lived in like a much more nicer part of Brooklyn, which is like around Coney Island, Ocean Parkway.
Okay, so you live down by Brighton Beach or
Yeah.
down by.
I also lived in Flushing, Queens, like Main Street, Flushing.
You've lived in areas that were still on the outer edges of the primary New York circle.
Yeah, but you really think it's all that different in the inner part, except for Manhattan, I guess?
It's closer. Things are a lot closer together. Going from my place to Williamsburg or to Astoria or to Chinatown.
Yeah, when you lived in Astoria from your apartment, did you really have to walk that far to reach a deli?
No.
Or like a...
No, it was a great location.
Everything's, no matter what, whether you're
It
in
was just
boroughs-
the trains to get into Manhattan or Brooklyn could take a while.
From Queens?
Yeah. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
Sure. You just have to take the R and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely significantly faster than Staten Island, but
But you're also paying more.
yeah.
And it's not that good.
I don't know. How many neighbors do you know around here?
Around here?
Yeah.
I'm not a really neighborly person like that.
See, I am, so that's something I like about those areas. Is I like saying hello to someone whose name I barely remember on the street.
Mm.
It gives me a psychological joy to be around people like that.
I mean, I like talking to people if they talk to me, but I don't like just saying hi to people like that.
I think that's the thing, is that out here feels too suburban or too
Actually, no,
disconnected.
I shouldn't say I dislike it because it's like if you told me to talk to a person, I would do it. It's just I don't feel any need to ever because usually when I'm walking by myself, like there's a lot going on up there. You know, like there's a
Yeah.
lot. Like I'm processing a lot. I'm planning a lot usually, constantly, especially when I'm like commuting or driving or traveling. But yeah, when it comes to just approaching other people, no. But you know what? A lot of people approach me though, so I never really feel like I had to. A lot of people like, you know, sometimes I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times it's fucking annoying. Like I'll try to wait at the bus stop or something, and someone will just try to talk to me or ask me something. If they ask me something, I'll answer politely, of course, 100%. I don't have any fucking. I'm not a psychopath, you know. I'll talk. I could communicate. It's just, it's kind of annoying sometimes. Sometimes I have
even
my-
when I'm like lost in my own head or I have other things I want to deal with, if someone just approaches me at the bus station, I'll stop and engage with them.
I feel like
I'm
you're the
always
type of guy-
eager to.
I feel like you're the type of guy. If we were strangers, you would say some shit to me, and I would get
Yeah.
so annoyed. I'd be like, "Yes, sir. Train should come in about 5 minutes." You know, like, you've seen me in those situations.
Yeah, I have,
We've literally
yeah.
been in public, and you've seen people come up to me and say something like, "Thank you." You know,
Yeah.
I would talk back. You know, I'd be like, "Whatever." I'd just be
Now,
like,
I just like, whether it's a good idea or not, I try and befriend anyone that comes up to me.
what I don't like, what I cannot stand, is like people who are rude to people for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, let's say someone did come up to me for something, like ask me for a cigarette. I would never tell them off, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I'm sorry, no, I don't. Or I would give them a cigarette. I wouldn't care. I like being nice to people if they approach me. I hate the people who are like impersonable to that level, you know, where they're like, not only are they not approachable, not approaching, but they're also not approachable. You know, that's like, oh, come on, dude. You can't even accommodate that much. Like, because I've seen a lot of people like that, you know. Like my dad was kind of like that. Like he would have like sometimes like less fortunate people going up to him or whatever, people that didn't mean as bad as ill as he might have thought, and you know he would just like tell them off or like threaten them, like to punch them in the face or whatever. And I'm like, come on, Dad. He wasn't that much of a dick, you know. He was just drunk, you know. But yeah, it's kind of the extent of it, you know. Me, you know what? Maybe my kid if I have a kid, will be more like the type like you know, to go up to strangers and talk to them. And I'll be like, can you not do that? Like,
I know a lot of people tell me that it's just a bad idea or inviting trouble.
because like
But I just have, it's just such a natural inclination of mine.
You know who's like that? Brendan.
That makes
Brendan's
sense.
like that. Like we'd be waiting at the bus, and then some like cracked out hobo lady would come up to us and like talk to us, and I would just try to like say like one word answers, and then he would just start a whole life story, and I'd be like, I hate you so much right now, Brendan. Like,
Yeah, stop bringing this situation in. We don't want to deal with this person.
yeah, but the way I see it, he's like that because he's living in the moment. There is no inkling of tomorrow on his mind or yesterday. He is living right there in that moment. Right now, that person is wanting to talk to him. So that person gets his undivided attention. That's why I think he's like that. Which is actually kind of
Yeah,
admirable.
I feel like I guess that's relatable to me then. I have the same experience. I think maybe that's what drives me to engage with everyone I interact with.
Well, I mean, do you ever think about tomorrow like that? Are you that kind of person?
No, I feel like I'm living in the moment in a lot of ways.
I like to think I'm like that, but if I was like that, then I probably wouldn't have an investment portfolio or something, you know?
Yeah, you're better off for that for sure.
I don't know about that. I could die today, and, you know, maybe I would have been better off spending all that money today. Never know.
I feel like you're already enjoying life so much.
I'm just saying you can't
And
know.
That's true.
That's the point, is you can't really know. So there's no point in trying to know, but you just know you can't know. You can only try. Make educated guesses. Which is practicing your pattern recognition abilities, which is practicing your psychic abilities as a human being. Every human is psychic to a certain
I
extent.
like the idea of describing pattern recognition as being psychic.
What else is it,
So
dude?
that's true. Actually, that's a good point. So in many ways, IQ is a function of pattern
Psychic.
recognition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like brainiac type shit. Yes. Yes. Like a physicist can literally like look at a ball bouncing, and if he's good, he'll be like, dude, that's gonna cause a car accident. And then sure enough, 5 seconds later,
I don't know how many physicists it's actually true for, though it's a cool idea to say
they're
every
good enough.
physicist.
And I don't think it's just about theoretical like knowledge
Yeah.
storage. I think it's more about like intuition.
an intuitive idea, yeah, of what's possible. Not ooh, yeah.
You need trust. You need some emotional irregularity there that's going to unlock not only your logical basis of how like things mechanically work with the trust in your judgment saying, yep, that's not going to turn out well. 2 seconds. I knew it. I get those moments in martial arts when like I'll be like right when like a student's about to do a cut, they fail, and then like they go, and then before it even hits, I'm like, this one's gonna do it, and they get through it, and I'm like, how did I know? Because sometimes you can just tell, you know, just from the way things engage and initiate, you're like, that's gonna do it. It is intuitive. Like same thing with like when
You've seen it enough times. Yeah, anything you've seen enough times, you have an
I
intuition.
felt it enough times. Like when I was a guitarist, not playing with a band member, but jamming with like a drummer. You know, it's like there would be a drummer in a band, and I would have a guitar, and it's like, yo, let's jam, and he would play a beat. That's pure intuition practice. That's when you're just looking at the drummer, and then you're keeping steady with the beat. You're kind of intuitively following his pace, and then right when he's about to get to the fill, you make eye contact with him. He gives you a little nod, and then you do your lick, and then he does the drum fill, and then you do the smooth, silky transition. That is pure intuition. Human to human, psychic connection. And that's what sadly a lot of musicians neglect. So many musicians just don't know how to do that. They don't know how to jam an ensemble. All they know how to do is just like write songs and practice songs and cover songs. They don't know how to fucking jam. Because if you know how to jam, you could write infinite songs with like 3 chords, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a common problem. Like most people who start trying to learn how to play music, they come into it constantly thinking about their own idols, who their own influences are, and trying to emulate them, which is normal. That's fine. But then after that, they realize I will never be like as good at being them as they are, and then that could be very discouraging until you come to a truth. You're like, oh, I shouldn't try to be just like them, even though like they inspired me to start playing music. The truth is, I have to find my own path, which is scarier because it requires trust in your own theoretical universal understanding of music. But if you have that faith and if you have that logic to back it, then you could start creating something truly yours. And there's this thing in martial arts, in Japanese swordsmanship, called shu hari. There's the 3 phases in a person's training. So when you're in your shu phase, you just do as you're told. You don't know any better. So you're in like, all right, yes, please teach me. I don't know shit. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'll repeat these moves. Okay. Then ha is where you start becoming a mouthpiece for your sensei. You start becoming like just parroting the same things that was taught to you because they work for you. You see improvement in that. Then Ri is where you finally find something that your teacher did not give you. That's something you discovered in your own life journey that was so easily and effortlessly integrated into your sword training that no one in your school considered before, except just the combination of the legacy that was given to you, the piece of that, and what you bring to the table. That's when you reach your Ri phase. That's when you're like a true master. When you make it your own. So yeah, I think music is definitely very much so the same way. You know, especially developing yourself and cultivating yourself as a musician or a music maker. You got to follow those steps. Shu ha ri.
Shuhari.
Yeah. Yes. Some esoteric karate magic there for you guys.
Yeah, ninjutsu methodology.
Bushido
Yeah.
or Budo. Yeah, I could already feel myself being pushed more into sword teaching instead of sword practicing. And it's getting a little annoying.
Well, is it
sometimes.
more engaging at this point? More interesting at your age? Or at your level of proficiency?
Nah, it's kind of boring.
Mm.
I mean, it feels like a duty, a worthwhile responsibility, but it doesn't excite me. You know, it doesn't give me that like thrill of a challenge. You know, when I find like a worthy opponent.
Yeah.
That's why I like to. I guess all I could
Does it
hope
feel
to,
more mundane, more boring, more stable?
what?
Sword teaching.
No, it's not that it feels mundane or stable. It just feels like it cuts into my time, you know, to develop as a swordsman. If I wanted to really
Do
develop,
you feel like you've improved or gained greater knowledge as a swordsman from teaching others, though?
sure, but not really so much for swordsmanship, more for the sake of I guess interpersonal development. Like how I deal with people has improved from teaching swordsmanship, definitely.
Makes sense. More the social skills you learn from being a tutoring rather than practicing role.
Yeah, that's just from teaching, but
Yeah.
I still want to be a better swordsman. You know, I still want to practice like for myself, which means I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to put more effort into carving out my own additional training time.
It's all part of the greater mastery
Yeah,
or development.
Richard probably needs more martial arts in his life.
Yeah, I think so.
He's like Edward Norton from Fight Club.
Yeah, you kind of have like you're in a certain funk and you need something to attach you to your body more.
Yeah, you want to fight, dude? I'll fucking fight. The only thing is, there's a problem though.
What's that?
So this is kind of an issue with one of the students there. There's a difference when you do martial arts. There's a difference between like practicing a killing art and like just fighting.
Yeah.
Because when you're practicing a killing art, there's a science behind it, a methodology, a very specific intent to these techniques, every single
Right.
one of these techniques. Whereas when you're fighting. You're trying to fight. You're trying to best them in a battle of strength, not in a lethal engagement, right?
Right.
So when you're just trying to, the only problem is there's certain like fighting styles that blur the line between the two, like Goju Ryu Karate.
Mm-hmm.
Richie, you want to Google Goju Ryu Karate? It's this it's Okinawan karate, and it's the kind of shit that'll like teach you how to
How do you spell it?
Goju. Go.
I got pissed. Hold on.
Go piss. Videos. Go to videos. Oh no, not that. Not that. Not that. No. 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 You should look up demonstration. Goju karate demonstration. Yeah, let's see what these guys are about. Try just meet the volume.
Universal Technical Institute's.
Have you never heard of Goju Ryu? It's like what Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter do. Well, they do a lot of Goju Ryu techniques, like Okinawan karate techniques. You could tell with like open-handed shit. Nah, fuck this. I don't want to see this. This isn't the one. I want to see some more advanced shit. Just minimize the screen. Google Goju Ryu on. Not Google. YouTube. Search it. Oh, she's cute though. Just type in Goju Ryu, not Goju Ryu karate. Yeah. Alright, just keep scrolling down. Slowly though. Just keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Oh yeah, there you go. The power of Goju Ryu. This is the one. This will show you some legit shit. I'm gonna turn on some of the music. Just to add to the vibe. Look at this shit. Look at it. It's like push hands. Conditioning. Impact conditioning.
See his fist.
Yeah.
Go back. Snuggles.
Yeah. That's from punching rock. Yo, these guys are no fucking joke, though. Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you know, a lot of like people do karate to fight, but if you do this shit, you're learning how to kill. You're not. This isn't really about fighting. Look at that, dislocating the arm and all that shit. Always gotta end it with a killing strike. That's the whole point. Yo, Karma, look at this shit. Man, this is that Okinawan karate. This isn't point karate from me. There's a difference between like mainland karate and Okinawan karate.
Yeah.
Okinawan karate was specifically designed so you, with no weapons, could take on like a fully armored samurai. That's why they do crazy shit. Like you're supposed to be able to like jump and like kick a samurai off a horse and shit. You know? Look, this is the type of shit. Just punching a rock. But they don't like, you know, abuse their bodies with it. It's just like conditioning. You know, you just gotta strike. Until like every hit to the gut can like really just shatter your ribcage. Look at that. Dude. This is undoubtedly my favorite form of karate. Probably my favorite form of open-handed martial arts I've ever practiced. Which isn't that many, I'll admit. This is like such good shit. It's solid, it's good for your body, keeps you strong. This is the type of shit where if you're like 70, you'll be like super strong doing this shit. Like, you know, if you start like younger and practice religiously, like you will be one of those strong, scary old men, you know, like. Anyway, that's it for that. Oh, we weren't even like showing that the whole time, but it's all good.
My bad.
Nice, Rich. Nice.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
They heard us enjoy it. People heard
That's
us enjoying
true.
it. So
that-
what do you think about Okinawan karate?
That's what we normally think of when we think about karate, right?
No?
Really?
Dojos, man.
What?
Like dojos.
I like on the beach. I like the idea of doing karate on the beach. Also, I just like
Look
the
up
idea.
Richie, look up point karate. And I'll show
Switch
you a
cameras.
difference. There's a reason why a lot of Goju Ryu schools do not compete. To them, it's like it goes against the ethos of what their karate is about. Their karate is about straight killing. Point karate is like Olympic level karate, where it's like, no, you don't have to show this. This is,
You gonna play it again?
you show the whack shit. No, you don't have to show this one. But just for us to see.
Point
talk
karate
shit
versus
about it.
karate combat.
Yeah. Look up one of these stuffs on the flashy ass like Vegas mats. Yeah, like shit like this.
Puss. Power baby point fighting. That's who scores first from this angle.
See, look at that. That's like they just like. Wow, I tapped you with my foot. I win.
Puss. Power baby point fighting. That's who scores first from this angle.
See, like that's that whack
Puss.
shit.
Power
That's
baby
point
point
karate.
fighting. That's who
And
scores
that's, like,
first from this
how they
angle.
compete. You know, and the reason why karate got like this is because competition had to be safe, right? For the kids and the competitors, and nobody wanted to commit suicide doing this shit, right? We didn't want to make this a blood sport, so they made it more of a sport. Whereas, like, you know, if you really train in a martial art, it's not about competition. It's not competition art. It's martial art. It's about war. It's about killing, you know? I mean, I still have respect for boxers. I'm sure, like, a professionally trained boxer, even an amateur level, could fuck my shit up 10 times over. You know, like, you know, with this.
I know that boxing is pretty efficient or ethical. Not ethical. What's the word I'm using? Ethical. I don't know. Effective. Actually viable. A lot of martial arts defaults to wrestling or striking. It's boxing, then karate.
You know what the only reason, you know why I think grappling is so popular?
Why?
Is because the truth is grappling is the most effective option under a certain illusion. And there is this illusion of choice. So you don't like, why does everyone say fights always land on the ground? Why?
It's the default between two men fighting.
Why?
If it's 1v1 grappling, a battle is just like the natural flow of things. You're just inclined to move
Okay.
towards it. What? Tell me.
So no, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying, why is that though? Why is it that and not like one guy jamming his thumb in his eye socket or grabbing his balls and twisting or like shoving his fucking.
Grappling feels natural in a way that boxing does not, or any kind of striking or any kind of dirty trick maneuvers. It's hard
See,
to
no,
explain.
no. What did you just
but when-
call that? You just called it quote unquote dirty trick
Yeah.
maneuver. Why? Why is it that?
Because grappling feels like it feels natural in a way that other things don't.
Okay,
For lack of a better way of putting it.
But then that's not martial arts though. Martial arts is not natural. When you practice martial arts, you're practicing very unnatural movements with your body. That's what makes it difficult. Like people think like, oh, to get good at fighting, you just do what feels natural to you. Maybe, you know, maybe that'll work for you, but that's not what martial arts is. Martial arts is legit doing what is purposely unnatural for your body to condition it to be able to unlock different dimensions that it wouldn't
Yeah.
do naturally if unguided, if unforced, if untapped.
Wrestling feels certainly if I don't want to hurt someone, but I want to fight them, wrestling feels better. Just
Let me
feels
ask you,
more natural.
what do you think makes wrestling a true test of strength as opposed to a test of strategy or even skill?
I don't know how close it is. The fact that it's like these direct muscle
Like why?
competitions.
Yeah, why can't an 80-year-old wrestling champion defeat a 20-year-old wrestling champion? Why?
Because so much of it is based on raw, natural strength as opposed to
I
more
know,
than
why?
technique.
What makes it that way? It's the rules. And guess what? Those rules are illusory. They're not real. Those rules are just social conventions. They're artificially enforced. If you take away those rules, that 80-year-old man could possibly win. That 80-year-old man could poison his oatmeal, could stab him in his sleep, could slit his throat, could take out a gun and shoot him in the head. That is real combat. That is what martial arts is really about. When you give yourself rules, it's not for the sake of seeing like who's better than who. You give yourself rules to cultivate technique, to cultivate skill, to cultivate professionalism, essentially in the art of war. You don't give yourself rules because it's the right thing to do and it's the moral thing to do. You give yourself rules because you're that good. It's like, all right, you want to do this one-on-one, buddy? We don't have to do this because neither of us are good dudes, but we're doing this mano a mano because why the fuck not? I'm pretty sure I could fuck your
All
ass
the
up.
ways you just mentioned involve fucking someone up. I think another factor about wrestling is that it is less likely to be lethal.
It's a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a natural sport.
Yeah, but it's not martial arts. It's a combat sport.
I know where you're going.
And you
here.
know what? And
What?
however, I will say the skills you get from wrestling will probably be more useful in actual martial arts study than anything else you could do. If you're good at wrestling, guess what? You're going to be like one of the best jiu-jitsu guys ever.
You know, when you talk to old timers or you read things from the past, boys would wrestle all the time.
like
Or men would wrestle.
Who do you
all
think is
the
going to be a
time.
better Marine? An all-star wrestler, an all-star basketball player, an
Wrestler.
all-star- Exactly. Yeah, it transfers over really well. So this is why I don't knock combat sports. I respect it. If you're a boxer, I'm pretty sure I could teach a boxer how to do more damage with a knife than like a tennis player.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you ever just punch a guy in a windpipe? Now do that, but with this, and you give him a K-bar. It's like, yeah. It's very fascinating, dude. Martial arts is a very fascinating like field of exploration. It's worth investigating. That's the best thing I've ever heard a sensei say. He's like, he went on this long rant, and he's like, all I can say is that it's worth investigating. I was like, that's like the best way to put martial arts in general. It's worth investigating. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not a hater of UFC or MMA. I think that shit is rad.
Right.
I mean, it's probably not ethical, honestly, but it's cooler than football.
it might be more ethical than football.
Yeah.
And people bleed or whatever, but are they? I don't know. Are they having the same rate of concussions as in football?
Not really.
Are they having less?
I think so.
That would make sense to me. I think that the not tackling each other,
But I think what fudges up those statistics is that so many more people play football.
No, I think it's the way the game is designed, the way it's played, the fact that they're wearing armor.
I do know that boxers suffer way more brain injury than MMA fighters.
That makes sense because they're taking more blows to the head, whereas MMA fighters, blows to the head are actually relatively rare.
And it's cool when it happens. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, that guy did what? But sometimes you see some things that like are so bad, you're like, oh no, I'm pretty sure that guy's dead.
I mean, I've never really been in a serious fight. I've been in fights, but never anything too serious. And obviously, all of this passes. You get older and you get smarter about things.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, I know. But when you talk to your dad or you talk to other old timers, like older guys talk about getting into fights all the time. Remember that, particularly when you were a kid, talking to older guys?
Sure.
Like, no one I know has gotten into as many fights as, like, the average 70-year-old man. The average 70-year-old man when he was young.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
But you gotta admit, people were stupider back then.
yeah.
But I don't know. I think violence is becoming more openly embraced again, just in a more controlled environment.
Well, if it's in a controlled environment, I don't know. I've never been knocked unconscious. I know guys my dad's generation happened a bunch
right.
when they were young.
I'm not going to say imagine like if the Nazis rule the world or whatever. I'm going to say imagine Dr. Doom's country, right?
Bavaria?
Latveria, where all the kids were trained in physical self-defense, and it's probably good for them, honestly, whether they push themselves in it or not. just that every kid knows like rudimentary skills in self-defense, which is like if someone grabs your shirt, there's a very easy way to just lock their wrist up over your shoulder and toss them. But you got to be fast, and you got to do it with prudence. Can't hesitate. That's it. It's a very simple movement, but it's a very hard mental barrier to break for children especially. But if you could break it as a child, man, you're gonna have a lot harder time as an adult. Like if things get spicy. Yeah. I think it's always best to do like cheap shots, fight dirty, because like I would never be the type to start fights. So if I am in a physical altercation, chances are it's
You're on a way to end or retreat it as quickly as possible.
yeah, because like I'm the last person to usually I'd say like 8 times out of 10 I'm the last person to really try to start physical fights. And so that being said, if I am in one, chances are it's probably something I'm not supposed to be in, and I just got to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, and age contributes to that. Restraint from it.
Yeah. So that being said, you know, it feels nice to know that I'm not a violent person, by nature at least. More by exploration and consideration, not really so much as my like inclination. I have been dealing with a lot of more people with more of that testosterone urge though.
What, as a tutor?
Yeah.
As a sensei?
Yeah.
What, younger guys?
Yeah. Of course, younger guys.
Yeah, they have something to prove, or they have more energy, they have more testosterone, they're more combative,
Competitive.
more aggressive.
Yeah. It's fun. Because I was never like that, I don't think, with this whole practice, and yet I was still able to get decent, you know? I mean, because for me, it's like swordsmanship is about alignment of mind, body, and soul. And when you're aligned in mind, body, and soul, you can't lose in anything. You know, whether it's like at making money or winning a sword fight or you know, getting a business deal or getting a date, like it's the same shit. You know, it's you're either gonna do it or you're not.
Expanding the same mentality to all spheres of your life.
You're either gonna do it or you're not. You can think of infinite reasons of why you should do something and infinite reasons why you shouldn't. You're either gonna do it or you're not. And like, you know, I was content at first just being the kind of person who would consider all the reasons to not do something or do something, but something happened where I just like, I think it was when I probably started swordsmanship. I was like, because you got to be a weird type to just be like, I'm going to try this and just stick with it. So I think that was what kind of like unlocked that bit where it's like, you're either going to do it or you're not. And then ever since then, it's just happened. You're either going to do it or you're not. Try to chase the kitty. Nah, man. Don't feel bad. I just have a very uncanny relationship with animals. I know it sounds like hokey when I say it like that, but it's true.
What are your favorite kind of animals?
All the animals, especially ones that could kill you. You know?
Yeah. I've never been to the Bronx Zoo. Is it worth it?
I don't fucking know. I really like the idea of like going up to a tiger and touching it. Going
Yeah.
to some like Saudi Arabian billionaire prince's house, and he's like, "Look at my tiger, man! I had to have it. I did not care. I said, look at that tiger. I need it. It's from Bengali. I need to have that tiger in my mansion made of solid gold." And I'll be like, "Bro, you gotta let me touch it. You gotta let me touch your tiger." He'd be like, "Okay, man, but be careful. He might bite your fucking hand off." You know? Some Persian, maybe.
You would feel Saudi sounds right. Saudi, UAE, everywhere, Oman, all those places.
Picks me up in a Lamborghini from the airport. I'm like, "Is this really necessary?" He's like, "Nah, man, this piece of shit's just my daily driver." And I'm like, "This is how these guys live, dude."
They're tiresome guys.
Of course, dude, because they're so
They're
gaudy.
fucking dumb. They're dumb and gaudy. It's like the Beverly Hillbillies, and they have all the obnoxious Arab.
You know what I don't like
qualities.
about them? There's one thing that I cannot stand.
What?
It's how they treat like young white hot models
Yeah.
just because they have the money for it.
How
I
they
don't-
treat women in general.
I
but
don't
yes.
like the Dubai porter potty shit. I think that's it's nothing to do. It's yes, morally it's repugnant. I get that too. But for me, it's not even about that. It's poisoning the well.
Same
All
with
you're
phone-
doing is poisoning the well and fucking it up for the rest of the guys. Honestly,
That's true. In general, they're so misogynistic. They're just the pushiness too. Everyone from like the Middle East, every Arab and Berber is just so fucking pushy
Yeah, you're
and
right.
so gaudy and so small-minded. It's like what an insufferable group of people.
every woman who I've known, from Korean women to white women who seriously dated a Muslim guy, were telling me like Muslim. I love him, but he's like so narrow-minded. Like he's so fucking. I don't know how else to put it. Like short-sighted, narrow-minded, which is. I could totally see it.
I find they don't cause too many problems, but they're just difficult people to be around.
They seem to like me though.
I could see that.
Like every time I go to the deli, owned by like some fucking like rich Arab kid who's only doing this job probably because his dad.
I
made him.
think you fit into an Arab conception of cool very well. To be perfectly, no offense, man, you're exactly the kind of person an Arab would think is really cool.
You know what, man? I don't know much about you, but you could roll with us, bro. I'll be like, all right, Ahmed. It's either gonna be Omar or Ahmed.
Muhammad,
Nah, I don't. Muhammad's such a played out name.
they don't think so. 60% of them are named Muhammad.
I'll just call him Mo.
Yeah, exactly. You just go into any place run by Arabs and you say Mo, and like half the guys answer.
I think I met most of the Arab guys that I got to know like really well from when I was living in Flushing as a teenager, at like 15. All the hooligan Korean kids I was hanging out with, the girls, some of them were dating like Hispanic guys. One of these chicks was dating like one of the hood money Arab guys, you know?
Yeah.
His name was Adil, and she was the one who was telling me how like narrow-minded Arab guys were. She was hot too. All those fucking gangster Korean girls are fucking hot. Do you even know?
What?
Could you conceptualize that
Yeah, I can. I've seen videos of them. I've never
not
really.
phenotype, but I'm saying like that New York Queens, like,
Yeah.
hooded out, almost Latina coded.
I've seen videos of them. I think I've seen them on the street. I've never really interacted with
They all
them.
went to like Flushing High School or something.
I think I would be invisible to them.
I went to Flushing High School for like a year. That's how I got to know like a lot of them, and they were pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was a kid, I had like a huge crush on all of them. I was like, these are some hot ass Korean girls. You know, you don't see these kinds of Korean girls at church. You know, like they were all about like, yo, you were talking shit. I'm gonna fuck you up. Yo, I just want to drink. Yo,
So
did you buy
they're
weed?
they're Korean girls who are acting like Latinas.
I think they were just kids. They were just bored kids, and instead of getting into prissy girly shit, they decided to get into drinking, smoking, money, and like winter clothing. Because it's New York. You're a New York kid. You're gonna get into like a lot of like not high class shit, but for a kid, you're like all about like $300 North Face jackets at the time or some shit. And if you could shoplift them from Macy's, like, you know, that was a come up. Probably sell that shit.
Yeah, it's very foreign to me. I'd like to know more about it because I'd like to know about every group in New York and every kind of person, but very foreign to my experience.
You want to get to know the colas, the Korean cholas.
I think I'm too old to properly understand it now, but
No, it's nothing to understand. It's just the bastard subculture of New York City. I gotta get some ice.
yeah. I know I can't leave dead air on the mic. All right, I'll say something to fill the dead air. Joke. Okay. Fuck. A Jew shipwrecked on an island for 20 years. And at the end of the 20 years, a passing cruise ship notices his signal and comes to rescue him. The captain is surprised by how much he's built up his little Robinson Crusoe island. He has his hut, his farm, his fishing traps, all that. And as the Jew is walking around with the captain, he says to him, "This is the 2 synagogues I've built." And the
By
Jew
the way, this is what
says,
Richie is watching throughout this.
"Yeah, I know. There's 2 synagogues," and the captain asks, "Why are there 2 synagogues? There's only one of you." And he says, "This is the synagogue I go to, and this is the synagogue I absolutely insist on not going to."
It's like that one joke. It's like too much longer.
What?
It's like the one joke is
more
like
coherently said.
there's 2 groups of Jews on an island. Once you ask a Jew and another Jew, like, what synagogue do you go to? I'll go to the other one.
Yeah, that is a far better, more succinct form of it.
I wish there was a way to sword fight in a way for me that was like non-lethal or damaging.
Yeah. That could still be done in real life.
Yeah. Like you could feel that I clearly cut you, but it doesn't hurt you or damage you. You just,
Yeah, something that, if only that level of
Blunt?
simulation.
not
Well,
blunt. Like it would
blunt
go-
doesn't have the same effect because it creates an entirely different kind of battle.
I'm saying something that would go through you as like a lightsaber, maybe. A
Yeah.
weighted lightsaber.
So it can record the hit.
Yeah. But it has to offer some resistance. That could be dangerous. Fuck. There's no way to do this kind of thing. Such a thing. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe science will give us such an opportunity someday.
These guys are avoiding grappling. They're engaged in a lot of
Because they don't want to
just
lose
long-
because they don't want to lose their weapon. If you lose your weapon, that's probably some kind of foul or penalty. No.
Maybe that's it in this field. When I saw this in real life, they were very quick to default to grappling.
I like how he parried. He does that low parry, but then that guy got him anyway with the backswing.
Yeah.
Look at that. Boom. Look at this chick. She's like, what are these men
This
doing?
is like a no. She's like a horny nerd girl.
Oh, she's like
She's
soaking
so
wet.
into
She's so
so
wet right
into
now.
it. Yeah.
She's so.
I can
wet.
already just tell from her glasses, from her
like
face.
smelling the fumes in that area right now.
Yeah.
In case you're just listening, this is a armored MMA that we're
Yeah.
watching on the screen right now. And I mean, that's really what I'm anticipating is the smell. Imagine the smell. How much testosterone.
Yeah.
I've been having to deal with a lot of testosterone in my students because all my new students are like younger guys. They're like 20 something, late 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, Chinese. They just need to get their aggression out. They're little,
How many of the new students are Chinese?
quite a bunch. You know what happened? It's
What?
because my teacher fought this HEMA champion. He scrubbed him up real good. But the video ended up on YouTube because the other guy, the HEMA guy, posted it.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of Chinese nerds, and they saw that video, and they were like, "Yo, this is it. This is because they all knew the guy Axel Peterson, but they didn't know who my teacher was. So they're like, "Yo, I gotta learn from this guy." So like that caused quite a bit of like students from Hong Kong or China to come and be like, "I want to learn from this school."
Interesting.
And then
They're
from
coming
there,
all the way to New York City to learn from you.
and enough of them had like friends that would come to this country. It's like, well, what
Yeah.
do you do on your off time? It's like, well, I study swordsmanship. Really? Where? So it becomes like a social thing for them too, you know? That's how the girls get involved because they're like, I want to do something social.
Oh,
that
see,
all
now they're doing they're doing striking and grappling.
Carmen, me and you should do this.
Yeah?
Yeah. Actually, no, you and Richie should do this, and I should film it.
Yeah, you're right. We just
We'll
put
start-
together. We should
we'll
just
start,
put
like-
together
start
Mad
with the-
Max junkyard armor.
We'll start with the full
We'll
armor.
just like duct tape a bunch of phone books to
We'll
ourselves.
start with the full armor, then we'll start light with pool noodles, and then we'll gradually move up from like pool noodles to plastic sticks to wooden sticks to fucking full metal weapons. You know, it'd be awesome if
What?
like these two guys had all armor, no weapons, but the whole ring was just full of rocks, like big boulders.
Yeah. They're just using environmental weapons on each other.
They're so
Probably
exhausted.
true of her true life.
They're so exhausted, dude. I bet they're like they're so done. They're taking a break right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're winded by it.
That's like an understatement, honestly. This shit is so tiring without armor.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's actually an accuracy of they live, is how, like, the longer they fight, the more exhausted, rowdy.
Yeah, they take a break. Yeah.
Yeah.
The break is the worst part. When you have to know it's like you guys are like catching your breath and you know one of you has to die and you're like, all right, let's do this.
I mean, there's like no rundells at all.
Yeah.
It's like a piercing dagger used like for knights. That's what it is.
Rommel daggers or
Rondell, yeah,
Rondell.
Yeah, Rondell.
Yeah.
For the eye, shoulders, I believe, and the armpit. Yeah.
Well, whoever came up with this idea is pretty funny. Just like, let's have MMA but armored with medieval weapons. I mean, all I'm thinking about is how fucking exhausting this is. That's all it is. The referee's job sucks though. It's like he's gotta get in between the guys, swinging like battle axes. Yo, that girl is so funny to me. Attending
She's probably his girlfriend.
I think it's so hot that my boyfriend engages in armored mixed martial
Yeah,
arts.
yeah. She's like a Ren Fair slut.
Sponsored by Cult of Athena. Look at that. Yo, Cult of Athena is a real ass
This
website.
is for a aggressively mid or rough looking nerd girl to have an alpha male boyfriend.
She's pretty cute though. She's like the cutest roughest looking girl ever. I mean, look at her, dude.
I feel like I've seen cuter rough girls, cuter mids.
Yeah, but she's packed.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they gotta water the armor. Yo, he's bleeding. The boy got bloodied up. Who do you think's gonna win, Rich? The guy, this guy looks older, but more experienced in medieval combat. Seriously, Rich, who do you think's gonna win?
It's up in the air.
I think the real winners are the people in the audience, honestly.
That's often the case in a fight.
You know what I really like? Those staged fights. I mean, when they're done well, though. Like I saw this one where it's like, you see like this bus driver,
Yeah.
or you see this bus driver like yanking like a little kid out of a bus, like being mad violent,
Oh, I
smacking.
fucking hate that shit, man. I hate all of these staged only in New York videos.
But those
The ones where you're like the target audience for it, and it pisses me the fuck off.
Like the midget guy who drove the bus.
Midget guy being thrown off the bus, I liked a lot.
That's what I'm talking
man.
about. That's
I know.
that's
yeah,
a good one, man.
but a lot of them just piss me
I
off.
said when it's done well, and that was done well. Because a lot of people were genuinely upset that this guy was hitting a kid. But then they're like, he's a grown ass man. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, dude. And it had nothing to do with social justice.
I like the ones where conservatives are sharing, like, look at this video of how New York City is deteriorating, and it's just one of those staged videos
Dude,
of like a homeless
yo,
black guy
yo.
shitting in a.
Can I admit something to you?
What's that?
I actually vehemently disagree. Whenever I hear people talk so much shit about how insane it is to live in New York City, how awful it is in New York City,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
actually really fucking not. Listen,
Yeah,
this is the only city in America where a racist and like a stupid ass liberal will be forced to live side by side in peace, in
Yeah.
relative peace. Whereas in LA, they'll be at each other's fucking throats.
There's, or don't interact. Another factor is just that there's so many cops in New York that it's really not that violent.
Your neighbor is probably one of. You know how many of my neighbors are?
Well, you're in
probably cops?
Staten Island, so half your neighbors are cops. Yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? The cops in Staten Island. What do you think they work? Staten Island? No.
No, they work in Manhattan. They work in Brooklyn.
These
yeah.
are the cops of of Manhattan and Brooklyn and all that shit.
No, but I mean, like, a lot of New York actually has below average crime rates.
Yo,
It's dirty and whatever.
I looked up the latest age to become an NYPD cop.
What?
I think it's like 36. I got some time, but I don't know if I could give up weed though.
Yeah, you're such a stoner. It seems hard to. Yeah,
No, it's just I don't know if giving up weed is worth being a cop is
yeah.
worth giving up weed.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's a
But
very
if I
good
was
point.
a cop, holy shit, I would have a good fucking time, man.
you'd be I think you would make a great cop. Genuinely,
I'll be the only likable cop in New York City, dude.
I think they would fast track you for detective. I could be wrong, but I bet you would end up becoming a
Nah,
detective.
I'll go for SWAT. Special weapons and tactics, baby.
I know.
Or at least some joint task force
Yeah,
shit with the Homeland
I
Security.
think
Division.
they would want you to be a detective. Like you would be pressured to be.
Yeah, but being a detective is all paperwork.
Yeah, but
Investigating, and that's boring. Yo, just investigating this fucking accident for my fucking insurance policy sucked
boring,
dick,
yeah. So I don't know.
I didn't even get to
I don't know
chase
if
the
this
guy.
is
I didn't even get to
True.
see
I don't
the
know
guy
if
in
this
the
is
eye.
true, but my suspicion is that if you join the NYPD, that you'd be heavily pressured to become a detective.
You know why I would have fun as a detective? Because all I need is the tools. You know what they give you access? They give you access to free range license plate lookup. They give you access to people like stopping people.
Yeah.
They give you access to literally actually, first of all, the license plate lookup alone is OP. Like the fact that as a cop you're able to look up people's information or have access to that kind of resource free range. That's sick. If I had that, holy shit. That's actually the only good thing I could think of. Oh, and maybe you get free food, free haircuts. What else? Oh, you get friends, you get people who actually would watch your back, like a real fraternity. And I know, I'm not saying cops are good. I still think cops are pretty shit. It's just the fraternity's real. Like being a cop,
Well, yeah, it's part of the whole point is that they have such a close solidarity, close knit bond.
yeah, you can't blame cops for being so tight knit with each other. However, the problem with that is, if you knew one of your cop brethren, quote unquote, was a pedophile, you'd be hard pressed to rat him out. You might catch a bullet in the back from from the whole force or the department or whatever. Literally and figuratively, So yeah, it's probably not worth it. Although it would be interesting. It would make if I did the whole gamut, did my X amount of years, 20 years or whatever, retired at 60 or 50, wrote a book.
You get a huge pension.
I could write a
early.
book.
Yeah,
I'll write a book.
you can get a consulting,
And I could start
you could
another
get
podcast
You could get a consulting bullshit job that would pay you a lot of money.
and start a podcast.
You'd have something working with the public school. You start a podcast. There's a lot of extra ways of making money with it after you retire.
From Terrorisk to Terror Diffused. Nah,
How are we doing on time?
An hour and 52 minutes.
we're almost there.
Yeah.
But I still do enjoy living as an outlaw. I think I'm definitely more of an outlaw than a law.
Yeah,
a
I think
lawman.
the lack of weed smoking is the big thing keeping you from becoming a cop.
Everyone's like, the marijuana is preventing Chris the swordsman from becoming a fucking fascist bootlegger. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that
No, it's true though. Dude, despite the fact that I like to practice all this martial arts gayness,
Yeah.
and I'm not a fascist or a fucking 100% grind set guy. I hate this guy. Actually, no, hate is a strong word. I don't hate him. I just don't think I could hang out.
Young
with him.
guy sucks, but the old guy's just pretty legit.
You saying the Shogo, the guy who runs the channel, sucks. But
Yeah,
the
but
guy,
old guys is really legit. You can tell you this is his entire life.
yeah, but there's a lot of legit guys like that, What do you think I'll be like in 20 years, bro? You think I'll be any different?
You'd be him, you'd be the old guy, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Ike Shogo's Shogo's the worst guy there. Like, the old guy's very good, though.
No, I don't
Like-
want.
like
I
only
don't
care about
want.
the-
I don't want to talk too much shit about Shogo though, because he's helping to spread the love.
Yes,
of
I
judo.
get what he's doing, but yeah, I think the old guy's like 1% legit. This is the man's entire life. He knows like nothing else.
That's not true. I'm sure he knows like how to change a tire or something.
Apparently, he used to be a hairdresser like 40 years ago.
He probably knows how to pump.
Yeah,
gas.
he just takes out he just quick draws his katana and cuts off the person's hair.
But this is all like, okay, so as a swordsman, when I see shit like this, it's all extra shit. And then like when I actually cross swords with such people, I'm like, where did those skills go? Where did those techniques go? Where did all that fancy shit go? Because usually 9 times out of 10, when they practice shit like this, and then I'm like, all right, now let's spar, and I do it, all this shit just goes away, and I'm like, why?
Because they're not used to directly being confronted or directly being in a
Exactly.
fight.
110%.
Because it's all demonstration, not actual.
And I think this is a
fighting.
reason why like a lot of schools feel a type of way about
Fake or feel detached or
No. A lot of schools feel a type of way about our school because what our school does a lot is spar. We fight.
Yeah.
And the reason, and like when a lot of schools come into contact with us, they see us doing the standard Japanese swordsmanship and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they do very basic stuff." But then we do something called Gekken, and then once they see that, their eyes get a little wider, and they're like, "Oh," like they're actually like fighting. So when guys like this try that, it's like usually, sometimes they're real about it, but usually they don't. It all falls apart. So. But it's a different kind of training,
Yeah.
I'll admit that too. Like if you're an assassin, you shouldn't give them a chance to be squaring off with you at all. You should have slit their throat before they even reach for their sword. Shit like that. That I understand too. So it's all about philosophy and mindset. I'm not saying our way is the only way. I'm just saying it's interesting how even if you are trained in this way, what if you are squaring up against another swordsman with a sword drawn, and why does your shit fall apart?
Yeah.
It's just interesting to me. But at the same time, when I see their forms, their kata, it's like they could do shit that so beautiful to look at. It's like I'm glad this is preserved over like 400, sometimes 1,000 years. That's something to be said too. Like how forms like this, like what he's doing now, these movements would not have been around, have been incepted since before cameras were a thing. So there was a chance where these things could have been lost forever in time, and they were preserved through just practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Richie, can you hand me the rolling papers on top, below that screen? Thank you. I think we could go a little longer for this episode. It's only 10:48. It's not even 11, my dude. And we're not even really done with the bottle. You're transfixed by swordsmanship, huh, Carmen?
It's more like me.
Yeah. It's fatigue with it too, but yes. I don't know.
What are you so fatigued by? Oh, wait. That's right. You're dating a significantly younger girl, and they have way more energetic needs than an older man like yourself.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Let's go to Warp Tour. Let's go to the Barney show.
No,
Let's go
Barney show, Warp Tour. No.
Let's go to FAO Schwartz. Wait, has she ever been to FAO Schwartz?
No, I don't
Is
think so.
FAO
Because
Schwartz even around?
I don't think so. I think you're making references
So
from
Home Alone.
15 years ago at the very least.
When I was that
Warp
age.
Tour. I don't know. It's weird because when I was that age, I just stayed inside all the time. So I don't have a good sense of what young people were doing because I was a shut-in.
Bro, I keep fucking telling you the answer, but you never fucking listen. Bicycle. Get a bicycle. Get this bitch a bicycle. You guys can both bicycle together. And by the time you're done, of 2 hours worth of time, she'll be all fatigued and you could do your man shit.
That's a good. Thank you. You're right. Look, I'll get on Craigslist. I'll find something. I'll look for your recommendation and grab a bicycle.
Get a fucking bicycle. It helps your relationship with her, with me, with Richie. We could all ride bikes together.
Yeah.
It could be yo. Biking is one of the things where you could get drunk and still like operate as a vehicle.
Yeah.
You might die still, but
I like this advertisement here. Tai Chi workout this summer. This TRT guy. Yeah.
this is what happens when you look up martial arts on YouTube, huh? This is why I like the Terrorisk channel. It's so fresh that like you could see it's just a blatant reflection of where the algorithm wants to push.
Yeah.
Well, the algorithm wants for you where it's sending you this old man fitness.
It wants you to
thing.
be a virile, sexual, martial
Old
arts
guy. I don't know. It's assuming that it's probably based on your Mustang videos and your swordsmanship stuff.
And my actual age.
It's
I am,
pegged.
30, I am 33.
That's true. It's probably
that is-
pegging your age at like 58 or something.
As far as like 90s sitcom, I'm ancient. I'm already like season 5 material, you know?
Mm.
These are pretty cool techniques. I'm not gonna lie. They're okay.
Like the fan he has
That's something
behind him.
practical too, as well. The 1600s, like something actually meant to kill people.
It's a little unconventional. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, 16. If it's past 1600, past Sengoku.
And if you know this sequence, you have to learn a bunch of other sequences. to
Yeah, it
move
might just be this very formalized.
You have to
thing at
learn
that
like
point.
interchangeable ways to like switch up the moves. Like you could start one way in a form and switch it up to the bottom half of a second form. You know,
Yeah.
if you could do that, then you're a true. So this guy, he's just showing you a piece of what he could probably really do, which is like I could do it this way, and I could do the same thing, but I could switch it up and do it this way. And that's the real interesting shit. But for the sake of teaching, that's not useful to like show off.
Yeah.
You know. But if you really fight a guy like this, like he probably can do that. Yeah, he might fuck me up actually. I don't know. There's a good chance he'd beat me, but I don't know if he'd fuck me up. You know, maybe I put up a good fight. Like, he's like, yeah. What you do is you put your hand behind the most effective part of the sword called the monyuch, and you just smack them in the fucking neck with it. Pretty interesting. It's like imagine getting smacked blade first in the neck. That's the whole movement. Like
That's rough.
you know how like a slap can like have that drag motion. You're basically doing that, but with a blade. So you have to accelerate the blade, a sharp blade, as you would like a full speed slap. And if you could gain that same kind of whipping momentum with a blade first kind of deal with those techniques, then that's like brutal. You know, you could probably like slice off like at least a third of their neck. Like, it's about momentum. You know, when you're able to like generate like, you ever see a guy like wind up and then do a really hard punch, and it takes him like a little while to do it, right? Like a charge.
Yeah.
Whereas like you ever see Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's just same thing applies to sword. You could do a huge wind up swing, or you could just do like whoosh, and still like manage to cut something off. You know, that's like kind of the same deal. When you have such control over not your momentum, but momentum in general, like universal momentum and everything. Everything has its own momentum. Whether it's a rock,
Seki Sensei, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, this is my form too. I know how to do this. This is just Bato Jutsu shit. Yeah, that's standard. It's like standard like self-defense type katana shit. Yo,
How much of this is developed in the Tokugawa shogunate? Is it all like Tokugawa shogunate long piece kind of stuff?
well, Kobudo by nature is very flashy. All you got to do is just look up what he studies, look up the name of it, Google search it, and there's going to be some very well recorded fucking stuff to it. I like the pink-haired guy in the back.
Yeah.
None of them are training with sharps. I don't think they're all training with
That's a
trainer
surprise.
swords. You don't do this shit with like real deal swords. Like you could use practice swords called iaito,
Yeah.
or you could use real live blades. And when you do like contact stuff, you're not even supposed to do contact stuff with iaito. But if you're just a boss, I guess fuck it. If you examine that sword that he's using right now, but it's
Yeah.
like all fucked up. Look at that. Look, you could tell right just from looking at the sheath. Look how fucked that thing is.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah.
That thing's beat to hell. I just know. Yo, look at the way he ties his Sagayo too. That's exactly the way we do it. Because he's doing Bato Jutsu techniques right now. Swordsmanship. What a fascinating subject. It's like I think like boxing is like a high school course, whereas like swordsmanship is like a college course, you know?
The fucking purple haired or magenta haired guy.
Because the thing is, like, you could be super fit
Yeah.
and super strong, but if you have a shitty mindset, you're never gonna win a sword fight against a guy who like has a right mindset. That's why I like swordsmanship. It's really a big brain martial art. It's like if I'm beating you in a sword fight, I hate to say it, but it probably means I'm smarter than you.
It's like it's a good hobby. It's a good like sports for nerds. If you're a nerd, you should be like swordsman.
Yeah, honestly, because like when I'm sitting there like winning these fights, and I'm like, I'm not winning because I'm taller, stronger, faster. I'm winning because I'm smarter. I'm winning because at least about swordsmanship, maybe not in general, but I know in like this match of like trying to whack each other in a efficient way, like I'm just smarter, more efficient about it. That's all it is. I like swordsmanship. The sword is a very annoying weapon. It's a very annoying, stupid weapon to get right. But once you get it right, it's a really good equalizer. Like it's not going to beat a lot of weapons, but it's going to give you a better chance against every situation. It's going to give you a better chance against numbers. It's going to give you a better chance against one guy. It's going to give you a better chance against 10 guys. It's going to give you a better chance just in general. At the same time, it's got a huge learning curve. A very, very huge learning curve. But once it clicks for you, dude, it's like you got it. You know, once it clicks, all it takes from there is time. It's like getting good at a game, like Fortnite. You know, usually when you first play Fortnite, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost. Like building guns.
Well, aren't you playing against bots when you first play anyway?
What?
Aren't you playing against bots when you first played Fortnite anyway?
Is that true?
Yeah, I think it's very bot heavy from my understanding. I've like played it once.
Well, everything needs PvE.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ordered 2 new training swords. So, Rich, if you want to spar again, but I'm telling you, dude, I don't know if you want to do this with me.
I do want to do it.
You're gonna get hurt.
That's not the point. I just want to do it. Yeah.
All right, you're gonna get hurt though, because like this is outside of the dojo.
That's why I
Like,
expected to get
if
hurt.
we
yeah.
spar outside of the dojo, like that's a different story because there's no waivers needed in that kind of scenario.
That's
you
why I
know?
expect, bro, to get hurt.
And you see me fight too,
Yes, I've seen you fight. Yeah.
but usually every time I fight someone, they're wearing like a helmet. And shit.
I don't want to wear a helmet. I'm gonna get hurt.
No, you're probably better off wearing a
No, fuck. I do not want to wear a helmet.
He knows what he's getting into. He's seen me.
Yeah.
he's seen me in my full.
See you in the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not gonna get better wearing a helmet. You have to go full. You have to go hard.
But you can't do that in the dojo
Yeah.
because of liability issues. You know what I'm saying?
That's a tragedy. Although it makes sense.
I mean, isn't it funny though? Like,
Yeah.
there's like a cap because like, we don't want to get in legal trouble because the seniors will hurt you too bad.
oh, I like how there's a Terrorisk watermark on your video. I didn't notice that before.
Gotta label
The other
up,
one,
dude.
the middle, the second monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying gotta represent, dude. See,
Yeah.
all right, Richie, I could just get him a T-shirt like I have, but for you, I don't know, man. Like,
How about a sash?
How about a bowling shirt? Like a
Yeah, that
button-down
sounds
bowling
good. A
shirt
bowling shirt sounds great,
with the
actually.
Terrorisk logo on the back
And have the
pocket.
same color scheme across it. Like,
Yeah, a bowling shirt. Yeah, a bowling shirt would be really good. You know what? Me and Richie will just thrive on T-shirts and Terrorisk, and we'll spend all the budgeting for fashion on you, just to
That
dress.
sounds great.
Just to dress Carmen in custom Terrorisk
yeah.
drip, like fedoras and shit.
Get a hoodie for Carmen.
I'm also constitutionally averse to wearing
Jesus
hoodies
Christ, you working?
and
Holy shit!
I told
What?
you. I told
Holy
you that
fucking
shit's
shit,
I told
wow.
you, man. Their shit's fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
Their swords.
It's like, it's not really dangerous.
Yeah,
really
from the way
dangerous.
they train, their swords just get fucked. Their equipment gets fucked up really, really quickly. I don't train like that. My shit lasts for years, bro. I do not suggest you fight with the Saya sheath. That's a good way to get yourself killed if you try to use that as your default. Only do that when you're that desperate. But when you're that desperate, you're already like in big trouble. Just focus on survival. Like, but I don't know. I hope I never have. I hope the world doesn't get so shitty where it's like, yeah, you should carry your sword, dude. Like, no, I refuse to believe.
I assume at that point you want to be carrying a gun and not a katana, but
And if you go like 40 years in the future, it's like, we haven't had bullets in years. What are you talking about? We used all of them in the Great War.
I feel like, well, with metallurgy, you need to maintain. Didn't you just, if you run out of bullets, you're probably going to end up with spears very quickly, right?
Bows.
Bows take a long time to train, but spears you can train very quickly in.
You know my
But bows, you're right. You know, it's interesting. I wonder what learning. I've always wanted, when I was a kid, I always wanted to learn how to use a sling. Not a slingshot, but like a.
What's wrong with a slingshot?
Just pretentiousness. I was like, how about a sling like what King David used to slay Goliath?
Let me tell you something. Let's say, you know why a slingshot is very.
It's far more efficient. It's far more sensical. It's far better engineered.
Do you know why it's a good thing to have? Let's say you're a woman, like a single mom, right? On a camping trip with you. None, like you maybe you're just a regular housewife on a camping trip with your 2 kids, your husband, and the husband falls down a ravine, gets killed instantly. And you guys are in the middle of nowhere, caught in a random hurricane or whatever situation, and you're stranded. Or maybe it was a plane crash, right? Yeah. Wouldn't you rather have a slingshot to be able to shoot a squirrel, to have some meat to eat?
Yeah.
When you're like hundreds of miles away from
I guess
civilization.
ammunition is not a problem with a sling shot.
Slingshots are beautiful tools.
Yeah.
Even if there was like, let's say there was like you wanted some honey and there was like a beehive like 50 feet above you, you know? Shoot that shit. Also, it's quiet.
Yeah.
Also, if you add like a little attachment to it, you can shoot arrows to a slingshot.
Yeah.
All you need is a stabilizing bridge. You can shoot explosives with a slingshot. Slingshots are very, very cool tools. Now, a regular sling though, the reason why I like it is because it's damn near biblical. Just look to the story.
Doing damn near, it is biblical. It's a weapon of like the classical of the ancient era. It's a bronze age. It's a Stone Age technology.
Did you see the show House of David?
No, I saw a few episodes when you were playing it, or one episode.
That's his weapon, yo. He's like, pew. That was really cool. Wait, what were we talking about before the slingshot? Oh yeah, you guys want to see something naughty?
Okay.
Maybe.
All right, Richie, look this up.
Richie, look up porn.com.
Look up Google BYRNA self-defense.
B-R-Y.
BY.
Okay.
BYRNA.
Y-R-N-A.
Self-defense gun.
Is it a pussy gun?
Nah, it's pretty badass actually. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
So this is a high-power CO2 gun, and it's capable of shooting like pepper balls, but even more fun, kinetic rounds. And these kinetic rounds can break through like hard glass and shit. But the pepper balls
So
are
is it just an airsoft gun, but
Better.
no, I mean they've tuned it properly. Whereas like yeah, you could get a paintball gun and tune it and swap
sure
it.
it's illegal in New York City?
No,
but-
it's not. These are legal in all 50 states. It just depends on the ammo that's restricted. Oh, Richie wants to see this in action. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing this in action.
Look up the latest one. Self-defense expert versus Berna. I love guys willing to get shot just for demonstration. But it looks easy to use, you know. I like the form factor. It looks like a fucking SIG or a
It
Glock.
should be cheaper, honestly, for like a non-killing tool.
Yo, should I get one? Just for the content? Like, will it be like...
I mean, it's illegal in the. How do you have to?
You go order it. You just have to order it with a specific type of ammo. That's not as dangerous.
Oh,
but,
I see.
yeah. But you still get the same shit. All right, look at that. I put a dent in those planks. Like, like yeah, that's bad, dude. That's naughty. I'd let you shoot me with it if you'd let me shoot you with it.
I wouldn't do that.
What if I let you wear a really thick jacket?
I'm not a teenager. When I was a teenager in my 20s, I would say yes.
I
but
don't
not
believe in
now.
owning a self-defense weapon unless you use it on yourself.
Even a
Since I'm
sword?
What?
Even a sword?
A sword is not a self-defense weapon. That's a weapon for slaughtering peasants. Oh, so they're testing it. So,
You can finish off with a
so,
sword.
so like approaching, it took 3 shots. Like by the time he got to a certain distance, it got too much. Where he was like, "Nope, I can't." So it's clearly an effective self-defense weapon to a certain extent. It takes probably multiple rounds to stop a guy, like to stop someone like me or Richie, like approaching you, Carmen. It would take like,
Wonder about with the crackhead, but yeah.
well, the crackhead, you better shoot him in the fucking face, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is just gonna get him angrier, but yeah.
I am very curious about the weapon platform, though. You know, it does seem pretty sensible. You know, just a high-powered CO2 thing, and it breaks.
So it's
it
an air gun.
No, it's CO2. It's gas.
Okay.
Air will be like a spring-powered, like you pump it with each shot. But this is CO2, so it only cracks with the first pull of the trigger, which doesn't fire a shot. The first pull cracks the thing, and then it's constantly leaking, but it's powered, and then you can shoot the whole
interesting.
mag. Yeah. So you could store it for long
So
term.
it's meant for it's meant for mag dumping, yeah.
So it's literally meant to keep on you, and if an attacker comes, you take it out, you crack it, and you pop, 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 pop. The only thing I don't like is that first initial crack pull. But you know what? I get it. You know, if you want to store it long term, because it's constantly leaking after you crack that CO2. You used a CO2 gun before, right?
No, I never have.
Have you used an airsoft gun before?
No.
All right. So usually when you load a CO2 gun, you crack it, and that means it's live, and that means it's ready to shoot. So with these burner guns, they work like that, except they only crack when you pull the trigger the first time when you load a freshie in. What is this? Is this a dart gun?
Feels very
It's a scuba gun, apparently, for underwater.
No, Rich, you got to be a sick fuck to use this on a person, man. Like,
Yeah.
this is too OD, man.
This is Richie's fantasy of going to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beach,
sure.
swimming underwater, and
Dude, this
shooting
is
them
like-
into women's
This is like
vaginas out of
this is like
resentment.
using a shark harpoon to kill a mugger. It's like, bro, it would have been cheaper to just give him your wallet. It's
Yeah.
like- actually, you ever hear of that? Like, there's guys with like self-defense solutions, like a 5.7. A 5.7 is a pistol that essentially uses long rifle rounds, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, if you mag dump a guy trying to steal your
Oh,
wallet,
it's more expensive than
yeah,
getting him, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was a meme, but it's true. You saw those rounds; those things were huge. It was like the size of your fucking wife's
Yeah.
thumb. You know? Is he making his own? what is he making?
Gelatin, yeah, target.
Richard, can you do me a favor? Could you YouTube napalm paintballs?
Hmm.
Do you think I'll get put on a list for this?
No.
No, it's
If you make
very.
it on the list, yes.
It's definitely like bro video searching habit. It's very like Joe Rogan fan. Is
You know, I bet there's another
searching
group of
that-
friends I have. They'd be like, "Yep, you would definitely be put on a list for this."
Like the law is like, if you read about it, but you don't do it, it's perfectly fine. But if you actually
Yeah.
do it, it doesn't really get you on.
And there's tons of people looking this up. They're just guys who are also smoking weed. Like literal, yeah.
Yo, you guys ever think they put napalm in paintballs?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing right now.
I don't think anyone ever did. It's probably too unstable. If you try to do it,
Yeah.
it's too unstable.
I don't think it's viable.
You'd have to use some crazy advanced like propelling system that's not gas powered. Hickok 45 here.
Loves nigga. Magnum.
Yeah, no. Look up double barrel 45. No, actually fuck that. No, don't look him up. Look up Bob Munden, B-O-B.
Bob Munden.
And then look up balloons. Bob Munden balloons. Yeah. Dude, this shit is nuts.
Yeah,
Yo, Carmen, do you ever see this shit? Dude, Bob Munden. This guy is a legit real superhero. He's a real life, like IRL superhero.
Oh, I think I have, yeah.
Look at that. That was a shot.
Love that big gut he has, yeah.
A second. Fast, maybe, but could he hit anything? Or anyone drawing that fast? He didn't have any trouble hitting this cup before it hit the ground.
Dude, that's a Marvel
And this
Comics
balloon
shit,
didn't have
yeah.
a prayer. But watch
Red
this.
Dead Redemption shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck was
Now
that?
watch again carefully in slow motion. In 1/10 of a second, he fires off not one but two shots, hitting both balloons dead on. Not too many
Okay,
young
so-
gunslingers offer.
Here's what I want you to notice. So right before he makes the shot, you hear a grunt. Do you know what he did? In my theory was that he exhaled his lungs completely, so his muscles could be completely relaxed.
1/10 of a second, he fires off. Balloon didn't have a prayer. But
So he
watch
was like,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now watch again carefully in
Sick.
slow motion. In 1/10 of a second, he fires off not one but two
Dude, that's
shots.
nuts. That's like, he's like, if there was like two robbers, he could just and they're both done. Because that's cool, right? When you're fast and accurate. You know any other good shooters, Rich?
The guy who died, Paul Harrell.
No. Look up Pew. I
Eric?
forgot- No, I forgot what his name was. Just Pew something. Just start typing PEW. Pew View. Yeah. Pew View. Pew View. This kid could fucking shoot. No, Pew View. Top. No, the top one. It's already there. Carmen, are you getting ice? Yeah. Can you give me some too? Yeah. And give me that bottle of soju.
I could drink most of it.
Oh, wait, go up. Let's see the top one. No, go down. Oh, go down. All right, let's just go up. Actually, wait, no, go down. I designed in 1911. That looks fun. I watched it already. Holy shit. You hear that? Like, you think he's just shooting randomly? No. Every plink.
Hey, did you guys know that there's a company out there that trusted me to design a 2011? This right here is the PewView Edition Apache, and this is the sweet little box it gets shipped in. Got the sweet little engraving in the foam right here. Ships with 2 Atlas mags, and then this sexy thing right here. They allowed me to fully design this thing from the.
That shit looks like it's something out of Call of Duty, bro. Look at that fucking thing.
Coding this thing is completely PVA.
Yo, Carmen, get the fuck over here.
Know what that is? That is the slickest. Just listen to that.
I gotta see Carmen's commentary on this device.
Me to design a 2011.
All right, Carmen, what do you think of this gun?
PewView Edition Apache, and this is the sweet little.
He's about
box
to
that
show
gets
off
shipped.
his
Got
firearm.
this sweet little engraving in the foam right here. Shipped with 2 Atlas mags.
It's so
and then
gratuitous.
this sexy thing right here.
Yeah, it's
They allowed
retarded.
me
Look at
to
this.
design
This is
cool,
very,
though.
yeah. This video game heavily modded.
How much is his weight? Like
First of all, starting
10 pounds?
But the thing
Yeah.
is, he could fucking shoot. All right, watch this.
Oh, it's a 1911 on top of that.
Did you guys know that there's a
Yeah, those are
2
very
pounds
notorious.
and the
They're
reset
not
is
the easiest
nice
to
and
handle
short?
compared to something like a
So we'll
tricked out
either ship with
Glock.
an SRO
Yeah.
or iron sights.
So, all right,
it
there's
depends on
some
what
things you gotta
want.
know
This
about
company
this
used to
gun.
be called
Like,
F1
these are- when
Firearms,
it comes
which
to
I'm
the
sure
speed
most of you
shooting
are
guns, they have a
familiar
thumb
with. They
rest
did
on
the
the left side
skeletonized,
of the
super
frame.
fast race
So
ARs. Now they're
allows
doing
you
a
to not
more
have to
combat
wrap your
style
whole hand
rifle.
around it
And
and
if
allow you
you've
to
ever
rest your
seen my
thumb, so
green
just
AR, the
you
Type
kind of have
15
this
that I
push
run in
button
a
thing
lot of
with a
these
weighted
videos, that is
compensator.
the new
So it's a
Watchtower
heavier gun,
AR-15.
but you point it at a laser.
They're also doing new suppressors. If you guys are in the market
So
for a
basically, it just
suppressor,
shoots
go check
completely
out
straight.
Watchtower. They're making
So, you
phenomenal
could be like an
products at a
80-year-old lady
decent
and you
price.
point,
Now you're
shoot,
also probably
hold,
thinking,
and
how in the hell did somebody
go
like you
straight.
get to be able to design a
As long as you're
1911?
strong enough to lift
I don't
it,
know,
you're-
but I know
you're gonna
how
be
you
able to, like,
could.
make
If you
it
guys
shoot
are
straight.
interested in becoming a gunsmith or creating new innovative firearms,
you're
go
the
to
only one getting in your own way.
sdi.edu. The link will be down in the description below. Thank
When
you
the
guys
gun
for
is so
sponsoring
tuned like
another
that, like,
video.
it's just the
That
only
was
thing
pretty slick.
making it
I've been wearing
shoot
this for a
bad
couple,
is shooting.
and I'm gonna go
Which is
shoot.
kind of intimidating, you know, when guns could be that good. You're like, what the fuck? Look at that. That's butter. Could you imagine a cop shooting that good? Like, no way.
Well, they don't train that much, and they're rarely in situations.
And here's some like fucking YouTube kid, like,
I don't know. He's
If you
practicing
conceal
within a
carry and you want to
shooting
do so
range all the
comfortably, you're
time.
probably going to be
it's his own
From when you're
backyard,
dealing
dude.
with
It's
people
probably
in
like
real
every
life.
day. Are you serious?
Yeah, a gun
every day he's
tuber.
probably shooting like 100 rounds.
A lot of this video content is watched in red state America, huh? Like in the Midwest and the South. They watch
but
this.
even then, there's a certain standard where it's like the high. This cream the crop. This kid is like the highest. Honestly, he's shooting from the hip and shit. That is a cool fucking gun, though.
All right, so I often see in the comment section people are asking why the gun didn't lock back. I'm going to show you why, and it has everything to do with your mag, nothing to do with your pistol. Some of these mags are designed with a follower that will allow your gun to lock back.
It's like an extension.
This little
of
notch
his
right
body.
here, and some of them are just flat, so your gun doesn't lock back. It's all in your preference. I prefer my gun to not lock back, and I'm going to show
Kinda
you
like
why.
a sword.
Okay, on the timer, I'm going to see how fast I can change my mag and hit the slide release and get around on target. And then I'm going to try it with the slide closed.
That is like something out of a video game, though. Look at that.
15. Also, I noticed
You know,
when I'm
could you
doing that
imagine
and
how
trying
it
to be
must feel
fast,
compared to like a regular,
I don't get my
like,
grip right. My
pedestrian,
left
like,
hand is lower than I would
1911.
normally have it.
Like that thing's
So when I'm
probably
hitting
just, like,
this as
it's got
fast as
weight to
possible,
it.
my
Yeah.
thumb
It feels like
sits
so
down a lot
grippy.
further than
Because that thing's
normal.
probably made of some
I would
composite
normally
around the
be up
grip, and
here.
then you just like.
So that throws me off a little bit.
You know,
When I come over the
we're
top,
nearing
I'm
the end. I was
usually
gonna
able
say,
to keep my original grip.
what about having
little
a
bit quicker.
Florida trip
All right,
in
close
winter?
slide.
You could do that. But for this, for September though, I was saying we could reduce it to your brother's place.
What if we put that off? I know it's a bad idea to put things off, but I would like to go to Miami. But I'd like to go when it's winter here.
Just so you
in
know,
New
if
York.
it's in the winter, it's gonna be less popping.
That's fine.
Yo, Richie, let's do the flight thing. Let's go to Expedia or some shit and look up flights in the winter in December.
Less popping as opposed to what? If we do instead in September, we go to see my brother in Richmond, Virginia. I don't know how it'll be decent
Where?
fun, but
Virginia.
No, his brother. That was if we go to Florida. That was going to be a stop anyway.
yeah. So if we just put off going to Florida until winter.
I'm gonna roll a little one and they'll sign off. But yeah, let's save for winter. Virginia in the winter is probably a lot better than winter here. And there's Hanukkah. There's the Hanukkah week for me. So, you know. But I don't know. This September day is like that week is like a good week for me to just take off. So I don't know. Maybe the trip to Virginia, the short trip to Virginia, will be worth it. And we could still do Miami in the winter, but maybe it's still worth doing that trip in September. See your brother in Virginia, because it'll be my birthday time too. You know.
Yeah.
Why? What? Did you talk to your brother about it?
No, I haven't actually. I should.
I thought he already said he's like, nah, man. I don't like that idea at all.
No, surprisingly, no. Normally, I'm that passive aggressive, but no.
You know,
I was just thinking about rather than spend the time or the money on a September trip, just put it off to winter and go straight down to Miami. because it would be warm there when it's cold up here in New York. I guess it would be January because December is not cold in New York anymore.
I think we should save it for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we should do Virginia this year.
That seems fair.
'Cause
Like,
by
it's
next
the start
year-
of the trip.
And by next year, it'll be nice. But Virginia, I could definitely pull it off. I could get a nice big SUV. We could go see your brother. We could go camping. Maybe we could do, honestly, not even do anything. Just chill. That's really what I want to do.
Take a week off from the hustle and bustle of the city and just go out there.
Yeah, but with me. And it's for my birthday.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care where I spend it as long as I spend it with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. It means
You-
a lot.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
and
this-
Richie. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, usually I like spending birthdays alone, but this year I'd like to spend it with you guys.
Thank you, man. It means a lot.
I mean, spending just the birthdays is always like it was just my one day I feel like being allowed to spend alone. You know.
And now you spend all your time alone, so you want to spend your birthday with other people.
I guess you could say that. Yeah. It was nice spending birthdays alone, though. Yo, you know what's nice?
What's that?
We haven't had one issue of like stuttering. or-
we haven't.
I'm telling you, that RAM upgrade.
Well, hold on. I want to see something here. Screen share 2. Okay, so. Let's see. January, it's highs of 74. So it's not summer weather. Let's see. '80s in December.
If we go next year, I'll have a Mustang that could take the trip.
That would be cool. Next year, Mustang. Riding a sick car all the way down sounds wonderful.
That I could pull off.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I don't know.
September is not going to be that much cooler.
September is nice in New York, is the thing. I don't want to leave New York in September, October, November.
It's fine. It'll be there the year after.
I mean, I know it's been like, yeah, it's like December. This is way lower than it has been as of late. Lately, New York has been in the 60s in December for the entire time I've been here. So I assume this is the new norm. Winter is warming faster than the season in New York.
Let me get some of that. Thank you, Agashi. No, I meant Ajishi. Agashi means young woman. Ajishi means
Yeah.
young man. No, Ajishi just means man. Agashi means woman. Miss, Mr., Sir. Rich, do you want me to teach you Korean? So when you go to Korea, you'll know how to speak to the Korean women?
Yeah, the Korean ladies.
Yeah,
Richmond in
Ajishi.
September is 82,
Yeah,
so it'd
Ajumma.
still be really nice.
Ajumma. Agashi. Agashi means young woman. Ajumma means older woman.
Let's see.
What you looking up? Richmond, Virginia. Dude, that's so close. We could make that.
No. Richmond. 6 hours. Yes, no one.
That's a nice drive, honestly, and a nice big rental.
And then
GMC.
from Richmond to Virginia Beach, if we go down to Virginia Beach, it's like an
about
hour and
Florida?
42 minutes. What?
Yeah, an hour and 42 minutes. Yeah, that's.
We could go to the beach, Virginia
What if
Beach.
we just took a room or an Airbnb halfway between the beach and your brother's place?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a beautiful idea, actually.
It'll be like around 81. Was it September? When do you get the week off?
Look up what's the holiday? What's the Jewish holiday in September?
Rosh Hashanah. It's like the 23rd, I think. It is Monday to Wednesday.
No. Wait. What?
It is what? Oh wait.
No, look it up again. Look up the.
It is then to then is
Okay, so
Rosh
I would need
Hashanah.
Thursday and Friday off. But honestly, I don't want to make it that long. So what if we just did Friday to like Friday evening? We left.
The 19th.
Yeah, and then got there by the same day, and then left around Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, like
25th?
this. Yeah.
That'd be a real comfortable trip. It would be cheap. It would be fast. It would be a good starter. And if we could pull that off, then we could pull anything off. It's like boot camp.
I can
Dude, that's so cheap. Between the three of us, come on, that's like $300 each. That's like a hotel room.
Yeah, between three of us is $200 each.
Like, come on, dude. That's easy money. We should do this.
Yeah, $200
But
each.
that's in Richmond, right? What about outside of Richmond?
No, but this way I could be in a place walking. I can find a place. I know where my brother lives roughly. I'm looking for a place within walking distance of him.
All right. But yeah, we should do this. This is very cheap, very affordable, very.
Let me text
reasonable.
him right now and ask what his address is.
Call him.
I don't want to call him because he's always gonna. Man, this is a long story. Hold on. Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we'll have fun in Virginia. Honestly, I would have a better shot of finding a wife in Virginia than in Florida.
Really? So you are on the hunt for a woman after all.
A real woman, though. Like from
What's a real woman to you?
homie, not too dazzled by materialism, but also not afraid of creature comforts. Willing to accept that they're lucky to be alive. Not that life is lucky to have them. That's what I want in a woman. And if I have that kind of woman, I guarantee she'll be hot.
Well, let's see. Whether in Virginia or Miami, Japan, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, we'll find you a wife after all, Chris. I think you've been locked in your house for far too long.
No, everyone
Or in
just
your
says that
apartment.
because I'm of good genetic stock.
Yes.
They just want me to reproduce because
That's true.
Their impulse. My dad is like that. My friends,
and I think it
my
would
friends
give
with
you-
kids are all like that. It's like, when
I
are you
think-
gonna get a wife? When are you gonna have kids? And I'm like, you're just saying that because you have a wife and you have kids. It's like, yeah.
I think it would be good for you. I think it would be a good dad.
It would be too easy for me though.
Fuck that, man. Just grow up and have kids.
No,
Okay, fair point.
I'd
Fair
say
enough.
like grow up and don't have kids. Because it's like a little kid could have kids. Literally, we know this. 14-year-olds do it. It takes a real adult to say no. I don't want to do it. But you know what? If I did do it, they have to be worth it, and I haven't found anyone who's really worth it to do it with.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
Have you?
no, I haven't.
There you go.
But I've been straining and looking for it sort of actively.
Well,
It's
I
completely-
haven't been straining, but I've been looking without
Yeah.
straining, and I haven't seen any. Have you? And you say no, so
No,
then it's,
yeah, no, there's people There are people I would have had kids with if I hadn't, if the relationship had continued, and if they had wanted to have kids.
I think I could have kids with anyone. I just don't think I'm complete. Like if I had kids, I would have to pass on everything I am to them, and I don't think I have enough to pass on yet to a kid. Once I do, then I'll have a kid. And if I don't, that's fine too. I don't need to have a kid. First of all, my dad's legacy is safe because like he's got 3 other kids besides me. I'm sure one of them will get knocked up or knock someone up. You know, like so I'm off the hook with my dad's lineage. Now it's just me. Don't get me wrong, like I've had some Chinese women say very like harsh things towards me about my aloofness with reproduction.
Well, it's very unusual, at least for Asia. Well, for anyone really, it's just very modern to not have kids.
Well, what's stopping you from having kids? You're older than me.
Honestly, I have trouble getting into a relationship with someone who wants to have kids, and I have trouble finding a relationship, having trouble finding a relationship with someone who wants to have kids.
Well, do you want kids?
Yes.
So are you?
But I'm not willing to take the steps to make it happen.
So you're not willing to change yourself.
That's true. I'm not willing to change myself. I don't mean to
you don't
criticize.
think it's worth it?
I guess that's true based on my behavior.
So then, how can you criticize me for the way I am? I'm the one who.
This is more projection. No, this is not criticism. This is more like I wish. I mean, you
tell me to do something that you're not willing to do for yourself.
It's not that you should do it. It's that I wish you would to encourage myself, or because I don't feel
Because you would think if Chris could do it, then I could do it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all good though. I mean,
or show me how to do it because I don't know if I know how.
So I gotta show the way for people. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having kids is easy. You just gotta knock a girl up, make sure you love her, and you gotta be willing to die for the bitch, and that's it.
Yeah.
If you're willing to die for the bitch, then die for the kid, and that's it. If you're willing to die for them, then you're willing to work for them. And if you're willing to work for them, then that'll keep them fed. And if you're willing to die for them, hopefully you have a good social security policy that'll get them paid out when you die. God forbid. But yeah, you want to make sure you leave your kid with something after you die. So pull out a good life insurance policy. You know what? All right. How about this? You want me to give you good advice? Like I'm looking for a woman who's willing to have a kid with me. You know what's a good selling point?
What?
I have a life insurance policy. Like even as a single man, I had the foresight to know that someday a beautiful woman would fall for my charms and would want to have a baby with me and start a family. And therefore, guess what?
Whoa, what happened to the recording? It's right here.
Yeah,
okay, never mind.
And then you say, guess what? I had the foresight to start a life. And you know how many women, especially from Russia, beautiful white women from Russia will be like, you have a life insurance policy? Ooh.
Yeah, it sounds like something you do to appeal to Russian women.
I'm thinking about going to Russia to find a wife, honestly.
I like the idea of you as actually, that sounds great. You would be as a passport bro in Russia. Or Poland, or...
Yeah, dude, I would go to Russia. I would fly to Russia. I would be like, hey... You're pretty hot. And she's like, thank you. You're cute too. I would eat you if I had to. I'd be like,
yeah.
You want to get married? She'd be like, sure. Da. You know? Let's do this. Yeah, I would get married to a hardcore Russian bitch. You know, I would show her the good life. I would try to. I wouldn't be able to show her like a billionaire's life, but I could at least show her what it's like to be loved. You know, earnestly. The same way I love anyone in my life, you know, like I care for them and I make sure I cultivate their well-being and I try to make sure they make the right decisions, and that's all there is to it. What else can I do for them, you know? I can't make anyone rich. I can't make anyone fuck like, you know, like hot bitches like Monica Lewinsky, you know, or like super hotties like fucking Whoopi Goldberg.
I like these 90s particular references and also how unattractive they are. We're at 2 hours and 43 minutes.
I got a couple sips in me. So you rant about something now. You rant about. You got to rant about how you were just telling me to have kids. Meanwhile,
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm incapable of having a serious job, having a relationship, having a serious relationship, even being able to go on a date.
Rolling
This is
cigarette.
not condemning you or saying, wow, it's a shortcoming of yours, Chris. It is more like, please, Chris, you're more together. Have a kid and a family, and I'll feel
maybe that's not
inspired
the
by
fucking
it.
answer. Maybe that's why nobody's together, because we come from generations of thinking I have to have a kid to get myself together. Maybe that's why we're so fucked up. You ever think about that?
And now I feel like the opposite because I feel like everyone's getting older. All the families are getting smaller. Everyone's dying. I meet so many people that have kids that say the most meaningful thing they ever did was to have a child.
Carmen, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Does humanity really need 9 billion people in 2028?
So the population is going to crunch regardless. The population is crunching already.
And what's wrong with being a part of that?
I think that personally, I would like to be a dad on a purely selfish level.
So then be a dad. You know how many women are out there that want to get pregnant?
Yeah. Rather than complain about it, I should just take actual
You want more
serious
than
steps.
that. You want more than just to be a dad, because you want an intellectually stimulating woman that you could have some like mini clone of you and synthesis, some fucked up synthesis of you
Yeah,
and your
it's
partner
true.
and all sorts of experimental psychological good. You want more than just to be a dad. Same as me. That's why I don't just want to be a dad.
I think if I found someone I really liked and had kids, that would be high. It's not just having kids; it's having kids with the right person. Would feel like the ultimate culmination of things in my life and things that I desire.
I think if I had a kid, the luckiest person in the equation would be the kid.
Yeah.
I'll give them all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, not like physically, like materially. I just mean like, there's a lot I could give to a kid. You know, I could teach them a lot, especially like in the world they will grow up in. It will be fun. It will be fun for me. This is why I think I'll be good at it, because of all things, it's a responsibility and it's a burden. But if you have fun with the burden, then you're the most suited for it. If you have fun with burden, period, then you're suited for burden. Am I wrong? If you could bear it, then
No,
bear
I
it.
agree. That's a very. If you have fun with burden, you are suited for burden. I like the broken English caveman talk. That's very true for it.
Well, I mean, that was Marcus Aurelius. If you can bear it, then bear it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I see so many people that get whipped up into other things or seem depressed or dragged down. People are too obsessed with politics or trying to hold on
Politics
to
is a
their
bad
youth or career advancement. And if they just chilled out and were a fun parent, I think it would be better off for them.
Well, put it this way. Can you just admit that there's nothing wrong with making money?
No.
There's nothing wrong with duping.
I don't think there's anything morally wrong with making money. I just don't care for it.
There's nothing wrong with duping people into paying you for your music or your podcast or your
Yeah.
video essays or your blog. There's nothing wrong with.
It seems like it's the modern economy.
There's nothing wrong with it, dude. So get over
No,
it.
I know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I never said there was.
No.
No.
Is it already running? Click it on the
Yeah, it's running.
All right. Turn it to the scene one.
Scene one.
So, do you have any closing statements on this? This was a pretty energized episode, honestly.
I was trying to be energized.
This was an energized episode.
Yeah.
Burgers are very
Yeah, no wonder Americans love them because Americans love to go fast.
Because burgers are cracked out. They have sugar. They have protein. They have water. They have everything you need. They have vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin D.
And we talked about martial arts, about family, about living life to the fullest.
There's one thing we have to talk about.
What's that?
None of this works without gratitude.
Yeah, that's true. Gratitude. I'm gracious that I'm in New York. I'm gracious I have you guys as friends.
It's deeper than that. Listen, nobody deserves to live comfortably. We're only lucky to, if we do.
It's really lucky that we live in a time we're able to live comfortably in the United States of America.
Second of all, nobody deserves to live at all.
Yes, we're lucky to live at all.
We only want to live. Therefore, we have to do this and that. That means our needs are determined by wants, not the other way around. We don't need to be alive. We only want to be. So we should be thankful. Everybody should be more gratitude.
More gratitude. I think that's it.